I love racing. We come and watch these truckers do their thing, and it's so much fun. But you can't explain to folks at home how cool this event is and how happy the sailors are that we are here on their base at their home, and we're going to go NASCAR racing with a truck series, probably the most watched truck series practice in the history of the truck series. Cup guys are going to be all over the place trying to figure out where these guys go, how they handle these corners around this difficult, fast racetrack here at the Naval Base.
Well, we have 35 truckers ready to go, and we have some familiar faces that aren't normally in the truck series. Justin Marks, one of those, and moments ago he talked to our Caitlin Vinci.
Thank you. Well, Justin Marks is back in the field racing a truck with us this weekend. How much in?
All the soldiers and everything is pretty awesome, but this will be fun. I mean, we have a great relationship with Jockey. It goes across our Cup cars, our Riley cars, the JRM, and then they snuck this one into the contract for me to come out and have a little bit of fun. So really excited to be here with Jockey and Chevrolet Inspire, and you know, I haven't been in a race car in a few years, and so when you come to a place that's like new for everybody, then it's like maybe that little glimmer of hope that an out-of-work 45-year-old race car driver like me can go do something with it.
Good luck to you. Very nice having the Trackhouse owner, Justin Marks, back with us here in the Truck Series, guys.
Yeah, Caitlin, he's actually one of 2 Cup Series owners in the field. Jimmy Johnson is behind the wheel of a truck for just the 2nd time in his career, driving for Tricon Garage. So we have so many storylines, guys, but look at this first shot of trucks out there and the paint scheme. So much patriotism throughout.
It really is. And when you have an event like this and the teams lean into it and understand the significance of it, it doesn't take much explaining. When you roll up into the property and you see all the ships and the airplanes and fighter jets and everything that is here, all the anticipation of the event has just been unbelievable, and the teams and drivers recognize that.
My anticipation is about the bumps. We walked around this racetrack, and this place is rough. It's got a lot of character, and whether it's turn 1 all the way around to the final chicane that brings you to the start-finish line, it's just a roller coaster ride. Tight turn 2, really fast speeds down that way, Kevin.
Yeah, and when you go into this back section, you had a lot of technical corners through those chicanes, through that area, through turn 12, 10, and 11. Very technical racetrack, and as these trucks are on the racetrack, they're going to be learning. But everybody else, from Saturday's race in the O'Reilly Series to Sunday in the Cup Series, will be wanting to know what the surface is like. We have a ton of different surfaces. We have sections that are narrow. We have sections that are really, really wide, and a lot of bumps, like Mike says. and I think a lot of those bumps wind up in areas that you're going to be braking and you're going to be wide open. So you're going to have to learn what the difference is between all the simulation, iRacing, whatever you've done to this point to prepare. Now you're actually out on the racetrack. And I always found that when you do the simulation, Mike, and you do all the things and you don't have to worry about hitting that inside wall or jumping the truck off the ground and blowing the motor up and getting on the racetrack are 2 totally different things. So that anxiety for the drivers is high, but they're also pretty excited to just be out here.
You know, Jamie, I was talking to a couple of drivers, and one of them said yesterday, it's like when you're on a runway in a jet plane taking off or landing. You know how rough that is and how just violent it feels as a plane is going. Well, we're on a runway here, and that's part of the character of this place.
Yeah, and the speed limit will not be 25 miles per hour today.
But I would heavily suggest making that turn, yes, like the arrows suggest.
Yeah, we're in turn 3 right here, so you can kind of see the walls right there, and that'll really give you an idea of the difference in the bumps. If you just pay attention to the outside walls, that'll really give you an idea of what that surface area is as far as elevation, as far as the bumps in the racetrack. So just something to keep an eye on as they make these first few laps.
I mean, these guys have quite the challenge. You see concrete here. We have new concrete, old concrete, new asphalt, old asphalt,
Patches.
And there it is. And we have train tracks right here that we're going over. A little bit of everything for these drivers to face today.
Yeah, and you see the exit of that corner right there as you go onto that long straightaway down the back. You want to get all the way out to the wall, but you also don't really know. You have to feel your way through how the truck is going to move. Sometimes you don't want to be against the wall. Naturally, if it was perfectly smooth, you want to use everything that you can, but you got to get a feel for how you can brake into these corners, which bumps are going to jerk the truck sideways, which ones are going to help it turn. So there's a lot of things that you have to learn in this first practice to be able to learn how to make speed in the second practice.
And how cool is this? We got Jimmy Johnson out here giving it a whirl. I love what Justin Marks said. Out of work, 45-year-old retired racer getting a chance, a glimmer of hope. I guarantee you, Jimmy Johnson has a glimmer of hope, thinking he can go out and put that #1 truck in the #1 position when the race ends.
How is Jimmy Johnson 50 years old, by the way? Unbelievable. Grew up in El Cajon, California, about 20 miles east of here. Jimmy's been looking forward to this.
In the #1.
A lot of things that you have to learn in this first practice to be able to learn how to make speed in the second practice.
And how cool is this? We got Jimmy Johnson out here giving it a whirl. I love what Justin Marks said. Out of work, 45-year-old retired racer getting a chance, a glimmer of hope. I guarantee you, Jimmy Johnson has a glimmer of hope, thinking he can go out and put that #1 truck in the #1 position when the race ends.
How is Jimmy Johnson 50 years old, by the way? Unbelievable. Grew up in El Cajon, California, about 20 miles east of here. Jimmy's been looking forward to this one for a long time, but I just can't believe he only has one previous start. Let's get more from Josh Sims. Good morning, Josh.
Well, yeah, Jamie, it is really surprising to know he has just that one Truck Series start. That is one thing. They will get a feel for it and then start to build from there. But they do have those 2 practice sessions, of course, so that's very important for Jimmy and this team. But like you mentioned, this is his hometown track, a great opportunity for him to hop in the truck and try and compete for a win at what is a unique and once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Jamie.
Thanks, Josh. Jimmy just goes through the chicane. Jimmy looking like pretty stellar out there. Some good speed, gets around Daniel Hemrick. Take a look at where Jimmy Johnson is from, the California kid. Right outside of San Diego. El Cajon proud.
Yeah,
Grew up racing off-road. I mean, all kinds of memories for Jimmy around here.
and when you can come race in your hometown, this is just something that nobody even ever thought was possible, right? I don't think anybody had on their radar, hey, we're going to go down to race on the base in San Diego and put some barriers up, and so involved in the off-road side of things. So fun to see him out here in the Truck Series.
How long do you think it's going to take someone to get into the wall, wheel hop, spin out? Are we going to see some of that early? Oh, we must have that. Oh, man, that's a
big hit.
big hit.
That's Adam Andretti back in the field.
That's huge right there. They'll have to make serious repairs to that.
And that's what you don't want to do. Right now, you don't want to even put yourself in a position to where you do that right there, because you just want to make laps. You want to get the brake markers memorized. You want to make sure that you know where all the bumps are, and as many laps as you've made when you get out here on the racetrack to actually make laps in person, it is just such a different feel. The visuals are way different. So you don't want, this is worst case scenario right here.
So Adam Andretti, the first, with some serious damage here in the first of 2 practice sessions. Look at this, Jimmy Johnson getting a little bit of airtime here at Naval Base Coronado.
Nothing out back. Yeah, I picked up a crazy hop. I'm hoping you're going to say something splitter. When I straight line brake, not an issue. If I turn the wheel at all, like it now jerks the steering wheel out of my hand. Not an actual brake issue, it's a handling issue. First year, 3, 2, 1. Ground are just bouncing crazy. Yeah, I'm not real sure. It happened in turn 8. It just happened right there for the second time in turn 13. Concrete section in the back is just like crazy slick. 10-4. Three back, 2 back. Turn your fans on.
That's 2 trucks now that have lost grip on exit of 16 and hit the pit road wall. Pancake the right side.
Back to the 12.
Everywhere, especially through the slower stuff. The back's super light. I get a lot of wheel hop too.
10-4. We'll get you parked right here.
142.20. You're still P4 right there. Fastest is a 139.
3,300 sailors work right here at Naval Base Coronado. We thank each and every one of them for welcoming us into their home, disrupting everything. But for the most part, they just seem to be fired up and ready for this race weekend. They've never witnessed anything like this.
You know what I love, Jamie, is we're so thankful to be here as NASCAR and as fans of this sport and broadcasters, racers. And the sailors are equally as happy that we're here. It's just mutual admiration and just a lot of great energy this weekend here at Naval Base Coronado.
And showing off our sport to a lot of people who may have never watched a NASCAR race or especially been to an event, whether it's the sailors or I've seen so many fans around town that have just come to this race because of how unique the event is and where it is. It's in a beautiful part of the country right here on the coast, as you've seen from some of our shots. So just I love that we have stepped outside of our comfort zone to do these types of events. We went to Chicago and set up that street course, and I thought to myself, I'm like, man, this is going to be just an absolute disaster. We don't need to be here. And I walked into that facility, and it was absolutely amazing, fun to drive, walk from the hotel to your event. I think today it took us like 5 minutes to get from the hotel to the base here and see and be on the facility to be at the racetrack. So just absolutely amazing event. Hats off to the Navy and NASCAR for everything that they have done to put this together. The amount of work that goes into a project like this. You see all these barriers that are all the way around the racetrack, the catch fence. They've gone in and resurfaced a lot of areas around the racetrack that NASCAR felt weren't really up to snuff as far as a safety standard for the cars to run on the racetrack, to not have the surface pull up. So it's the amount of work that goes into this is unbelievable, and I just can't believe it.
Well, and I'm impressed by our drivers. You know, everybody talked about the difficulty, the bumps, these tight turns. We've seen a couple of guys get into the outside wall, namely Andretti hit really hard, Ben Rhodes, and that's happening in the same part of the track up in turn 16. Just getting wide on the exit, as you see right here, Ben.
You can see those trucks all rolled over right there, Mike, and you know that dip right there off the corner. Just see those tire marks that he left on the wall. But you know that's a high-speed section as you come onto the front straightaway right there.
Man, that looks rough.
I believe he said I hit it a little bit. It was more than a kiss.
I believe his crew chief will correct him on that one.
Yeah.
Ben, we've hit it.
You know, it's that driver interpretation.
So he's in getting that fixed up. Let's get more with Caitlin.
Yeah, I was just talking with the team, and they were like, this is exactly what we didn't want to happen here for Adam Andretti. But listening to crew chief Seth Smith, they're obviously diligently trying to make repairs to that 5 truck. But I heard him say, I believe we're going to have to forfeit qualifying to fix the splitter pan and the splitter bar. Adam Andretti, very apologetic on the radio right now, guys.
I'm sure that's disappointing and heartbreaking, right? Because you get all this practice time to dial in your truck finally. I mean, this is a guy who just started racing in the Truck Series part-time this year, doesn't know a lot. This is a great opportunity, and now they're stuck sitting here repairing.
And that's where the hype and anticipation can get the best of you. And you have some of these guys that have a road race background that come here and thinking like this is going to be the day. And then you step over the line and you wind up with a situation like this. You'll start at the back of the pack and will be an uphill battle for the rest of the day.
And just think about the learning curve, Jamie. You see Caden Honeycutt, his time of 2:19 flat, basically. He's got 2 seconds over the rest of the field, and that will definitely shrink down as these guys get more and more comfortable. And you know they're getting reports that other drivers have been into the outside wall. They know they've got to be careful about what they're doing here, and that's what's going on early in this session. Just trying to learn the track and try to remember exactly where you are every second around this track.
Yeah,
guys, it's one of our own right here. Jamie Mack wheeling it.
I wish that I could have been with Jamie Mack all morning, because he is the biggest, he is the most nervous person that I know, and he is so detail-oriented. He wants to do really good in this event. He has prepared. He's raced in the modified series, just trying to get some track time, but it's been a long time, and I promise you, these truckers are tough, Mike. You watch it on a weekly basis, and not being in the vehicle and being comfortable with what you need to be doing, and in a course where everybody knows that they have to learn. So Jamie's learning the truck, he's learning the team, he's making his seat. Everything is new to him, as well as trying to learn the racetrack and get comfortable with everything.
Look at that speed from Jimmy Johnson. Jumps up to third fast as Jamie McMurray just continues to make laps and learn. We were on the ship with him last night, Kevin, and you're right. Nervousest person I ever met. I walked up and said, "Ha!" You just jumped out. He goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" We had a good laugh.
Well, Jamie McMurray, truck looks good right now. 2 laps in. He's 29th on the board, Josh.
When you guys talk about that, I talked to Jamie this morning, and I could tell you he was still very nervous about this whole process. I asked him about how he got ready, and he said, yeah, I did a number of different things to prep for this thing. He's like, but even then, I did not feel comfortable in the shop. Sitting in the seat, I wasn't comfortable. Coming out here, I wasn't comfortable. I'm nervous for this practice session. But he also said he's excited to be a driver once again. We know he's been on the broadcast side for a while, but he said it's been cool just to walk through the garage, to talk to the different drivers just about their race cars and their race trucks and setups and running different lines. That was the thing that really I saw his eyes light up talking, just being one of the guys in the garage, being a driver again. So far he's been quiet on the radio, just figuring this track out, but exciting for him, but also nervous as well.
The thing for Jamie is fitness is not an issue. The guy looks just like he did when he walked out of a Cup car a handful of years ago. 50 years old. He doesn't look a day over 39. Out there wheeling it. Fun to have him back.
He lives right down the street from me, as another truck has a wall issue. You see him running down the road all the time.
Same
Connor
spot.
Mozak, guys, turned 16. It's been the same spot. All 3 issues here at Naval Base Coronado.
And 15 was perfect. He was 3/10 on P1 there. Copy. 7 was when he comes back to you there, you should be about 6, 7, 8. Below our usual number on the right rear.
With the turn 6, drivers left.
There you go, right here. Give me your water temp. We got some trash on the grill. Brush that off, boys. Water temp when you get parked, everything you get turned off.
194 right here. I forgot to look. I didn't get a reminder either when I got over there.
You're okay. We're going to get a good rate here in second practice. It'll be fun. You're holding on to P10 right there, leveled off at P10. Your last lap was the exact same as your lap before. P11 right now, excuse me. At a 141.65. A 140.65 would put you 4th.
So 1.2 seconds.
Exactly 1 second faster would put you 4th, 3rd, 5th.
All right, copy. Places I'm the sketchiest is in the airfield where like all the white concrete, the fast speed S's. You know, what's that? 9, 10, 11, I guess. Is that right? Hang on.
Yeah, so basically you got 7, then you go through the really narrow part, which leads you to 8, and then you go 9 is a right, 10, 11 are quick.
Well, yeah, in the airfields where I'm like it's just slick. I feel like I am rolling free.
Go have lunch or
with
dinner.
The back rolls.
And rumor has it there is a haunted room there. So if you're into that kind of thing, Hotel Del is the place to be.
Mine's not. Mine is not.
No, you guys
so
are
far.
downtown.
And I'm not into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to
Freaks you out a little bit? Yeah.
Freaks
Look
me out.
Look up that story. Hotel del Coronado. Lane Riggs, our point leader, has been on a roll this season already. See how he's figuring things out. Carrying an onboard for us.
Yeah, he has a foot cam in there. See
You
what
guys
kind
love
of.
that.
We do love that, and you're going to have to use those feet a lot around this racetrack, especially in the braking zones. These trucks, when they go through those bumps, you're going to have to modulate that brake pedal to keep those rear tires from what we call wheel hopping. Right here, a smoother section as he goes through the back chicane right here. Repaved all of that for this race. That's one of the areas that got repaired, but a lot of modulation with the throttle pedal and the brake pedal as you go through different sections of this racetrack.
Watch his head and hands too. You can just tell the workout he's getting inside of that truck. We talked about Jamie McMurray being a fit cat. All these race car drivers better have themselves buttoned up for this event, because anytime you have that much movement inside the vehicle, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, you see him head down into turn 3, downhill into that braking zone. You see the back of that truck all over the place. That's one of those sections where you're going to have to manage that braking system to be able to keep those rear tires from chattering. A lot of these street courses cross the railroad tracks right there onto this long back straightaway off of turn 4.
Fourth gear, hauling the mail. Sweeping corner. And another very fast corner coming up, 6. That's a challenging part of this racetrack as well.
All the way down this back straightaway into 6, and you're going to see a little bit of a chicane right here.
Kevin, tell the folks at home, I mean, we're watching this, and you know, if you're sitting on your couch at home, you're like, well, that looks fun. It's a definite workout. Like, there's a lot going on inside that vehicle for these drivers. And by the way, in the simulator, when you run into the wall, you just push reset.
Right.
This is not the reset game. You've got to be precise.
Kevin, you were in the simulator, right?
I've been in the simulator, not making laps, just watching, and you know, I think for me the biggest thing that I took was how rough it was. I think that'll be probably the part that they fight the most is just their neck and their just the constant pounding of the bumps that you go up and down in that vehicle. That'll be the part. And turning the opposite direction. When we turn right, you get soreness on the other side of your neck when you're used to turning left so much. All those muscles are built up. So see the back end of that truck slide right there with Lane as he glides through that section.
What about Jimmy Johnson? Hops up to second fast so far. Lane goes third. Both those trucks down into the 219 bracket. There was some talk about the simulator and times, and they thought maybe they could get as low as 2:15, but that's a stretch from here, I think. Probably enough laps where they're going to get faster for sure.
They're definitely going to get faster. I think the hard part is just judging the surface and the grip. And the other thing I heard you talking about when I came in this morning, Mike, was how much fall off was there going to be with the tires? How much would this surface tear up the tires and be able to judge? And that's why it's good to be able to just make laps so you get a good tire wear at the end of this section. And not only do the drivers and everybody want to know and be able to memorize everything on the racetrack. I can't emphasize that enough. You, as a driver, you have to memorize, and that's why it's so detrimental to those guys that are sitting in the garage right now that aren't making any more laps, because this is all about muscle memory and visuals of being able to make lap time when it's time for qualifying.
And our Ram contingent was really strong at Watkins Glen. Had 3 trucks right up front. And you see Corey LaJoy in that 10 truck. He's got himself in a good spot here early in this session. So I think that this racetrack is a great equalizer, if you will, from equipment, one truck to the next, one manufacturer to the other. It's more about the setup and the driver just getting in there and figuring out all these bumps.
Yeah, and you see the 38 truck there of Chandler Smith. He's got Hard Rock Casino there on board. That's actually right down the street from Kern County Raceway, so a big part of our community. And he just went sitting on top of the board right now at a 218.85.
They say we have an announcer curse.
That's
How about
right.
that? That was a little shot in the arm to the top of the board for Chandler Smith. Hey, guys, there's a team owner that has 3 trucks here. He's standing by with Caitlin Mincy. He knows a thing or two about this base. Caitlin?
You're right, Jamie, and that would be Al Neese, who actually did training here over 50 years ago. What do you remember about being here, and is it neat to come back?
It was 58 years ago last month. I was with 5th Force, and we came up for a couple of weeks of training down on the Silver Strand. So
that's really neat. And what's it like returning here? I'm sure it brings back some memories. And
a lot bigger, a lot newer equipment, but brings back a lot of memories. I was 22 years old, so there's a lot of good memories. So, but yeah, it's coming through the base. We didn't get all the way down to where we were training, but there was a lot of it still here.
How special is it to see NASCAR come to a place like this and what it represents for the country and the sport?
Oh, I think it's phenomenal. Really, we're able to share the love of these guys, and of course they're all serious. They're all very serious and very loyal. It's a good home for them. So.
Thanks for your time, and thank you for your service. Al Neese here with us. What a special story about his time here, too, in San Diego. Jamie?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Neese, for your service. And he also has a pit crew member on the 45. He's actually the interior guy, Kyle Ayala. He actually served here, a Navy veteran. Got to be a warm welcome, a homecoming to come back here to Naval Base Coronado. The history is so deep, and we are certainly making history today with NASCAR on the base live.
With both rears at least, so I'll do that. My entry into 4, if I get to the center, there's that drainage thing, and it kind of makes the truck heave. So I've been backing up my entry to keep the platform stable through there. But I'll carry more speed and just deal with it. I guess it's faster, just carrying some more speed over that grate. Then over into 5, things seem well. Contemplating 3rd, but haven't tried it. Big braking zone into 6 is awesome. 7's fine. Into 8, I kind of want to lock the left front a little bit and get tight as you turn off the blacktop to the concrete. But I've figured out my braking mark. And by the way, the braking marks, they need to add some to a bunch of corners. A lot of them start at the 3, and they need like 5. Copy all that. And then make my way around fine. That high-speed bus stop thing, I guess 14 and 15, it's just really low grip. Focusing on exits, I've tried a few quicker entries, and you shear the back turning to the right, and then when you pull it back straight to get out of 14, it tries to shear the other way. So I'm just kind of tiptoeing 13, 14, 15 with a higher speed. Even in 13, turning and start that complex, once you get onto the new asphalt, you just lose all 4 tires in grip. And then when you turn back to 14, you kind of shear the rear and kind of manage that through there. The rest of it's pretty good. I guess if anything, it's a little abusive to the rear tires. And then I have, that little bit of snug turning left into trail braking and kind of onto those 2 concrete corners. Going through the S's or whatever, back in there, you're fine.
Copy. Also, there's a lot of bottoming heading towards turn 7. A lot of bottoming on that straight. But I think it's unavoidable. It's super bumpy.
Where do you feel it at? In the seat or more in the front?
Destroyer making its way back into port. See all the sailors on board. So much patriotism all around. Of course, we're celebrating America's 250th birthday as well as the Navy's 250th. And what an amazing way to do it. It took so many people to pull this off. And now the truckers are all out there getting their hand at it, trying to figure this place out. And Caden Honeycutt right now on top of the board. Chandler Smith, Lane Riggs 3rd, and Jimmy Johnson 4th. So Jimmy,
that's impressive.
Here. It's his home track. That's worth something, right?
He obviously has done a lot of prep too. To jump out there that quick and be that early in the practice and be that quick, that's impressive.
Yeah, here you're seeing a start-finish line right here. We're going to head off into turn 1, kind of wider than it's going to be as you exit turn 2. Really rough. This is where they jump off the ground right here, downhill into that braking zone into turn 2.
Just watch that nose. I mean, this is incredible, the movement in the vehicle, and all that movement on the exterior is transferred right to that driver. He's experiencing all those bumps, and just a workout around this place.
Caden Honeycutt working lap number 6 for him in this session. I like what I've seen out of him today, but I also like what he's done. He won our last road course at Watkins Glen, guys. That was a big win for him, first career, as he makes a pass here.
I believe if I were the other competitors, I would see how long I could follow this truck. I mean, he's obviously figured things out in a hurry. Got his truck down into the 217 bracket again. He's a second faster than the field.
8 all the way through 16 is going to be where the tire degradation is going to be worse at. The thing slides around quite a bit more than we had thought about. So I feel like the first half of this track has actually got quite a bit of grip, but the second half does not. The concrete part doesn't. Slides a lot harder.
Love that intensity of the eyes. I'm glad he has his visor up. We can see that.
And by the way, he was saying all that sitting on pit road. He wasn't saying it while he's out there running around. We recorded that and played it back. But you can see, Jamie, great point. Look at his eyeballs. That's intense.
Yeah, and you see how far ahead his eyes are as he will turn his head to try to find the apex of that corner. You find the apex, then you look up, find the exit, and then try to match your eyes and everything with the throttle and the steering wheel to get that drive. But you heard him talk about the different surfaces down here in this section of the racetrack and how it slides around. There's grooves in the asphalt. It's old asphalt. It definitely hasn't had race vehicles on it to pull all the dirt and dust and everything out as he goes by Brendan Gong right there.
So old Brendan over there getting his rust knocked off, making some laps in that 20 truck.
Uncle Brenny has not changed a lick. He is the same big personality. And, you know, he's a West Coast guy, Kevin, from Las Vegas. Means a lot to him. South Point, his family's hotel. That's where all the drivers like to stay, the teams like to stay. And giving it another hurrah here in the Truck Series.
Yeah,
close moment for Caden Honeycutt. Take a look at the 12 of Brendan Butterbean Queen, and we're being told he just got a piece of the wall.
Yeah, you see the left side right there. First one we've seen on the left. He's going to get a little bit wide. Slap the back of that truck, which in turn grabs the left front right into the fence. That one's going to need some work.
Well, his teammate Corey LaJoie looking good here. 6th on the board, Josh.
Well, that's right. And, you know, Corey, we just saw your teammate get into the wall. I see you got a little damage on the right side of that truck as well. But what was it like out there? What did you learn about the truck and the track?
Well, I think they put the decal a little bit too thick on the wall. That's what my damage was from. That's how tight you have to take the apexes here. Obviously, not quite as much as what my teammate Butterbean just took it there. They got to work on that thing. But what an incredible event, man. I'm so fired up to be here. Spent a lot of time with the men and women of the Navy last night on the carrier. Getting ready for our prime broadcast on Sunday, but to be able to experience this track behind the wheel of this Mopar Ram is incredible. It's like Chicago on steroids a bit, but there's like 4 or 5 different surfaces. You know, over there, I don't know what the heck whole corner it is. One of those corners over there where it's like ice, brand new concrete, super slick, nothing for your tires to grab onto. Over here down the hill, it's a pedestrian road, so it's oily and sandy, and you got painted lines you got to navigate. And then on God knows where, the blowing in from the sea, there's salt, there's seashells everywhere. It challenges you every lap, and you almost forget where you're at, but you have to calibrate your brain. So it's like, okay, my aggression level can be X on this surface. I could scale it up a little bit for this surface. I have to scale it down for this surface. So still trying to let it all sink in. I got to make my notes so we can go find a little more speed here. But I'm pretty happy with the speed so far. I can't let Jimmy beat me because I already beat him once in his charity golf tournament yesterday. So we're going to have a little battle going on today, but it's cool to share a track with Jimmy Johnson as well as everybody else here, but it's fun. I'm rambling, but I'm just fired up right now, John.
So great perspective from Corey LaJoie. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, he painted that picture perfect.
Favorite thing he said, whatever that corner is over there.
Makes me feel a lot better about what we're doing, Michael.
We're sitting here trying to figure out exactly where they are.
I'm up here trying to figure out where they are, what they're doing.
And they don't even know where they are.
They don't know, so we're in good shape.
I just love the energy of a brand new place that you come to. You see him. I mean, there's so many other things going on. He's trying to focus on the task at hand. Oh, Caden Honeycutt just misses it. We're in the middle of practice here.
Travis, you can look at his mirror.
Chasing 42. to do? I'll probably just go right with those. Just because one, we're gonna end up using them up, and then two, we're not gonna mop.
Hops over it, but I don't hear anything.
Okay. So we can work on a little bit of attitude.
Also, Cube, I don't know if my suit's actually working.
Yeah, gonna have to put a spoiler on it and everything. I would imagine there, Turbo.
Stop there. I still need more lateral there, like the back sections. I'm just like super loose.
10-4, bud.
I'm talking, I can't run, but like a quarter throttle.
Corners tight, the fast corners.
That makes sense. There's still a lot of speed out there. You just got to take a lot of risks right now, you know.
Well, the two Fords and the 11 are 137s and 138. 138.84 is P3. That's a 38. 7-time champion is right behind you with a 139.72. Took a left entrance into 5 behind it.
There, and we give them the iPad or whatever you want to, I guess, think on that, Austin. If you want to get out, you'll have 20 minutes.
I'll do one more stint, but if you could just give me some feedback, that'd be awesome.
You guys walked on each other. Vargo, you go first.
That's pretty much it for this session. What do you have there?
As well, and what an event. Over 600 people. They had their band playing. We saw the colors, beautiful food display. I mean, it was incredible. They played videos about what they do on this ship, and then they showed what NASCAR does. And of course, we saw our NASCAR drivers acting it out in that short video that they did. There's just been incredible promotion all around.
Just a great feeling being here, sharing this weekend with so many sailors and folks that just make our lives here in America so wonderful.
And it's just, it's so patriotic. Like, you drive around town and I'd say 60–70% of the houses all have American flags hanging off of them. And when people ask about our sport all the time, there's nobody that does charity better, but there's not another sport that also does, you know, the support for our military and participating with them better than what NASCAR does. And you see that in full force right here with all the sailors here and just the environment here on the base with the trucks and Cup cars and O'Reilly cars. And you can hear it in Corey LaJoie's interview that the competitors are so happy to be here. And sure, the racetrack is a challenge, but we're having a race, but it's not really about the race this weekend. It's about the event and being on the base and with the sailors and supporting everybody that does so much for our country.
Well said, Kevin. What a wonderful weekend.
So looking from first to last and 35th, about 18-second differential. Lane Riggs ends up fastest in practice session number 1. They'll have about a 20-minute break, and then they'll get another 40-minute practice session. Ladies and gentlemen all over taking in the NASCAR action here. It's all about the truckers, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Manage the shake.
Copy. So the shake is in the steering wheel, not the pedal, correct?
Correct. Like the steering wheel, it's everything I can do to hold on to the steering wheel, to be honest with you. So I just have to use half the pressure that I would like to. It's definitely the truck and the tires bouncing on and off the track. Like, I don't know what's causing it, if it's the splitter or just that side down or what, but like it's the tires bouncing on and off the track that is causing the issue.
Okay, I think we got some stuff we're going to try and help you with here.
Copy.
4 trucks, 5 trucks that's gotten into that wall.
Yeah, 10-4, that's what I thought. I mean, I tried it, and it felt okay, but it ain't, there's not any grip, I mean, really anywhere over there. It's so slick.
Yep, I get you.
Brembo's ready.
But it's just the other ones that kind of falls into gear in that third, you have to really be aggressive with it.
10-4.
I have a paint marker to mark my steering wheel.
Yes, sir, coming at you.
The lack of grip is, I mean, from just tires. Tires just seem very important.
Yeah, that was 10 laps on tires, so almost first stage.
Get the fans on. We're going to have to straighten these skirts out over here. Might have to cut a little bit off of them.
The fans off now, 14.1 volts.
You can jump out and look at SMP. We got 20 minutes right here, Nathan.
And look it over. I guess we can go to 4 stands here, right? Ask the official. We can go just up to 4 and take the tires off if you guys want. Get a minute.
These tires and gas while we're waiting here. You doing tires or anything? I'll do them while they're doing this.
Yeah, I was talking on the intercom, sorry. Yeah, we're going to put tires and fuel on it.
At home, this is fun.
You mentioned a bucket list item. How neat is this as for you as a competitor, as a team owner racing on a naval base, what this means for the country and the sport as well?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows the relevancy of NASCAR. For us to be here on the 250th anniversary on the base, I hear somebody important showing up on the festival, and I think it's going to be a great experience for all.
So what's the agenda now for the next session? What do you feel like you achieved, and what are you going to keep working on?
With the track evolving so much, just not overreacting to the vehicle changes and just trying to get more and more comfortable with the vehicle. I haven't been in a car in a long time. The last thing I drove had 40 inches of wheel travel and out in the desert in the Mint 400.
So just trying to get my bearings straight, get some reps, take it one session at a time.
Good luck to you. Really great to have Jimmy Johnson once again joining us here in the Truck Series. Jamie, that's just
impressive. And Kevin, you dusted off the rust and went out to Idaho and won a big race the other day. Talk a little bit about how excited he is to be here, but the learning and then applying what you've done in sim and applying that to what you're doing behind the wheel of the truck physically, it's got to be fun to do and see the result.
It is, and I think the hardest thing is just the amount of time that it takes to prepare properly, to learn the course, memorize the course, and all of these guys have put in a ton of time to be able to make themselves ready for this race, to know where you're going. But we're old, so it definitely, we're a little slower than most.
Pretty cool to see David Gilliland there talking to his driver, Jimmy Johnson. Well, Jimmy will have 40 more minutes of practice. That's coming up from Naval Base Coronado.
I know how to make slick-looking goggles/glasses.
Think they're gonna call practice right now?
We got about 12 more minutes before the next session starts.
That right there is real. If it's not off.
Like it's supposed to.
When you get a chance, call my cell phone.
Other shots on, let me know how it jacked up. Put 2 rounds out of the front.
Chicago Street Course and Road America and places that I wasn't able to make a ton of reps at. It became a lot harder because of the amount of time that it took, and now all the younger drivers, they spend so much time in the Trans Am Series, in the simulators, doing all the things that they do. They're just better road racers than they used to be, and they're able to adapt.
Well, let's hear from one of our own, Jamie McMurray. He's with Josh.
Well, Jamie, earlier we talked about trying to get the comfort level back. You feeling a little bit nervous. Now that you've been out there, you ran 10 laps, 28th on the board. We'll forget about that. But how did you feel?
It's pretty uncomfortable. I can't tell you, and I said it to you earlier today, just getting in there and
just that whole environment. It's been so long, and it's still very uncomfortable. And the fact that you have all these walls on both sides of the track, it's not as, I mean, it's really rough. It's not as bad as I think my anxiety led me to believe last night after doing the track walk. But it's a really high-risk, high-reward track. Turn 5, the left-hander, it's a big commitment leading onto the backstretch, and there's so much lap time to be gained there. So a couple of those areas that are high risk, I am not high risk right now. Just trying to take baby steps. You want to be faster, but I'm just gonna have to creep up on it. It's gonna take all day to get there.
What is this experience like for you? I mean, it's been 17 years since you've been in a truck, man. You came back for a reason. What's it been like?
It's amazing. Like, honestly, the whole experience of getting ready for the race and the preparation, I miss that. And it's a lot of fun to prepare for this. The sim that you get to go do now, and that was just coming in at the end of my career. So it's really fun to get to go be a part of that. I've got Carter with me this weekend, so he's getting to kind of learn all that. But I thought I picked a really good track to come to, but now I'm questioning my decision making.
Well, Carter, come on in here. What do you think about what your dad's been able to do so far?
Definitely a little rusty. Trying to get back into it, but no, first session out, I think everybody's going to get faster with everybody getting used to the track first time out. So I think we'll have a better second session just getting ready for qualifying.
Listen, what he told me when we got out, I'm like, man, because he has done the sim with me, right? I mean, he does a lot of iRacing, and of course he's way faster than I am when we get in there. And it's very close to that. And I told him, I'm like, man, it's crazy to me exactly. Not everything is the same, but a lot of it is very close. And he's like, put me in.
Well, guys, I got to say, it's kind of weird interviewing Jamie McMurray. Normally, we're just on set together, so it's a new experience for me, too.
I know, but I love the enthusiasm. How about this? The two of them, father and son, racing against each other in the modifieds for the first time in May. Love to see it. The kid's only 15. He's already taller than Dad. Getting it done.
Whoa, any pizza and any top.
Make some changes too.
Turn them off. Guys, we got to fix that part. Need to go grab him and tell him. As soon as he's done with Sam. I told him 6 minutes, but I need to be ready to fire off. You're walking. Can you hear me? All right. We need that welder. We're not going to be able to go back out until we get that welder. Unhook the battery. Unhook your ECU shit here. Everything electrical.
Eastern with massive group points on the line. Then at 4 Eastern, Germany looks to stay hot while Ivory Coast eyes another upset. That's all on Fox. Tell you what, it's been exciting watching USA. They're coming up later today. Going to be watching that before our truckers roll off for the race at 4 o'clock here Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. A lot of changes being made right now in between the two practice sessions. And that's who's fastest so far, guys. Who's the biggest surprise?
I think Jimmy Johnson for me.
I agree 100%. Great effort by Jimmy.
Let's see if there's any changes. Practice number 2 is coming up.
In the back. I want to do about 4 laps right here, and then come in and we'll switch to mock-up. Copy. No fuel.
Go behind somebody decent. I get about 10 or 15 furlongs behind somebody decent would be optimum, but I know that's a seat.
Yeah, 10-4, I cannot see pit road, so you'll have to Derek to help you kind of cover in the front pit road. But yeah, I thought you looked pretty good there.
Honestly, don't think we're bad as far as grip. We're just I got one full round to the rear from where we started, so we should be 500 front, 600 rear right now.
Anybody else complaining about the same kind of problem?
Justin Mark had that problem into turn 2. Didn't sound nearly as bad as me. His splitter looked worse than ours, but it's a front wheel hop, and I've never had a front wheel hop. Like the tires are coming off the ground, like it's yeah, I can only use. Gotta let it down or check up the right side, Trevor, before I can turn it.
I got you. You got me? Yeah, probably should. We'll do 3 there and 2 in the back. Yeah, 3 out. 2
Get well soon, get that hip figured out. But no, I'm really thankful to all the time we got at the Ford Racing Simulator to get ready for this. I feel like we pretty much copy pasted our St. Pete setup and what we ran there, made a couple minor changes just for track conditions. But from iRacing, from the Ford Simulator, the walls are not quite in the same spot, and they didn't really know the grip of the surfaces. So we're the first test dummies for today to figure it all out. I feel like we grasped to it pretty well. Like I said, it's great to have Mattermost on the truck as well, and you know, Ford Racing helping us out on everything they do. So yeah, I'm excited here. Hopefully we'll put another set of tires on it, tighten me up a little bit. I was a little bit free right there, and see what kind of lap we can lay down.
We're also the first series to get to showcase this display here in San Diego. What's this like for you as a competitor to race here?
It's really cool. I mean, all the people in the Navy, all our military, everybody here to support, they're all super excited. I've talked to several locals here on the Coronado Island, and they're like, this is the biggest thing we've ever done here before for a spectacle. So I'm really happy to see that. And just the excitement that builds around it. Hopefully the stands will be packed, and a lot of people that's never seen NASCAR before, they'll have a good show to watch.
Hope it goes well for you. Lane Riggs and company get set for the second session here in San Diego. Jamie?
Yes, well said by Lane Riggs. And watch out competition. He said pretty much the same setup from St. Pete. What did he do there?
Went on to win. Well, I think when you look at St. Pete, I think that's a great place for these guys to gain confidence coming in here, especially the ones that ran well going to a street course, not knowing the course, the process that they went through. You heard Lane talk about Joey Hand. Joey Hand was a massive influence on the end of my Cup career when we went to the Gen 7 car, but he helps all those Ford guys figure out the road courses, analyzes what they do to be able to help these guys learn the details of what it takes to go fast on a road course.
And I like the fact that they're going to throw in another set of tires. They're going to make those adjustments. We're going to see the speeds pick up. And I think tighten up from first to last, too. Some of those guys that struggled in the first session will make those adjustments. And so it'll be interesting to see. I think you got to put Lane and Caden Honeycutt at the top of every list as far as championship favorites this far through the season. And right up top they are again here today.
You know, and every driver that we've heard from, they've talked about the different surfaces, everything that's different, turning left, turning right. I mean, as a driver, what do you even tell your team at this point to work on? I mean, is there one corner you like to focus on? Is it grip? I mean, what are you focused on right now?
Well, I think unless your truck is way off, I don't think you want to make many adjustments to the truck. They can look at the travels and look at all the things that they normally look at to make some adjustments to the truck to try to maximize the aero and grip and everything that they do on a weekly basis. This is all about learning the track, maximizing the braking, roll speed, and once, from a driver's perspective, once you memorize that racetrack and are able to just drive into that corner and not have to look at the brake markers, you can just see them in your peripheral vision, to be able to drive in as hard as you can and maximize that, maximize the roll speed and know, do I need to roll into the throttle in this corner? Can I just map the throttle in this corner? And you start putting all those pieces together, and having a little break like this really helps because you can stop, take a deep breath, look at everything, think about it, put that back together in your head to be able to put that lap together to go back out right here for your second session.
And don't you love what Lane said? I'm a little free. You know, you talk about all the different corners and how you're going to break it down. I'm just a little free everywhere. Let's just tighten her up and go see what we can do. And that's a great way to look at things as far as overall what we need to do to be better.
Well, Kevin, you mentioned, you know, having that moment to just kind of, you know, think about things, reconnect, and I think that's exactly what this guy right here, Brendan Gaughan, is doing. Brendan, it's been a minute, 13 years since he's been in a truck, and it's not like he's out racing every weekend, but he sure has been a big part of the truck series in the past, and this is where he's doing. Brendan, basketball at Georgetown.
Well,
every weekend, but he sure has been a big part of the truck series in the past, and this is where it all started right here. Played basketball at Georgetown.
Well, Brendan and his family have been just such a massive supporter, obviously success in the truck series, but his family overall has been a massive supporter for NASCAR racing in general, been a part of the truck series for a long time. And to see a guy like Brendan Gaughan come back just tells you the significance of this event. And you see the high.
Well known in Las Vegas and everything he's done in the Vegas gaming world. He also served gunnery instructor, United States Army Air Corps. Looks just like Brendan Gaughan. How about that? So thank you to Jackie for your service and all you've done. I grew up in Las Vegas, and nobody that lives there, everybody knows about this guy and what he's done in the South Point and all that they've done for race teams every year for all the drivers and teams. And you see the red flag has been displayed.
Brendan doesn't like that.
Uh-oh.
Got water on the track. This is one of those huge grates you guys were talking about. Christian Eckes, we're being told, had an issue, and he's with Josh. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, that's right. Christian Eckes out of the truck. They're fixing a track bar issue you had. So can you break down what happened and what's going to take to get this thing fixed up and ready for practice?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the piece that connects the left side truck arm or track bar or truck arm, whatever, to the rear end housing. So, yeah, we'll get it fixed up and get back out there. I'm not very good. This place is tough. It's very slick. I think it'll get better throughout the day once some rubber gets on it. But, yeah, this Columbia Bank Chevy I think is good, but I'm not very good. So hopefully we can get back out here soon and try to learn some. But I don't know what was going on TV, but that did not look nice. I don't want to drive through that. But, yeah, no, we'll see what happens today.
What about this experience overall for you so far?
It's cool, for sure. You don't necessarily see the aircraft carrier because you're focused on the track, but walking it yesterday and seeing the aircraft carrier and all the planes and helicopters is super cool. So, yeah, it's a really cool experience for sure.
Appreciate you, Christian.
You know what I love about that, too? He said, I'm not very good. He's 12th. He's pretty good. If he's able just to figure a couple of things out and make those adjustments, I think he could be in the show, be in the game of who's going to be up front at the end of this race.
And it's going to constantly evolve. I mean, the racetrack's going to get more rubber on it. The drivers are going to get more comfortable. The teams are going to get the setups. And, you know, I think that as this keeps going, it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter, the spread between first and last.
You have to explain to me what has happened here, Kevin.
I would tell you that they left the sprinklers on, but I don't see any grass anywhere near, Mike.
leaking from outside the track there.
Definitely didn't have this issue in first practice. Didn't see any sign of water. So I'm sure they're all over it, getting it figured out. They'll try to get it dried up so we can get this practice going again. So all truckers have been instructed to come down pit lane and wait this out as we sit here on an absolutely gorgeous day in San Diego.
Probably entry to 3. I don't know if Brian can see it down there, but a lot of the backside of the track before you get to me is going to be not covered.
Okay, 10-4. I just saw a video of the water across the track. It's a lot. It's like truck and a half width wide all the way across from one wall to the other. Oh, that's not good.
Just a front wheel up. I've never had it. I get off the brake pedal and then let it calm down. Grip is okay. I've never experienced having turn 2, that happened in turn 3. Turn 8 really bad, so paper map much better. Turn 13 is really bad. It's like any corner that I come close to threshold braking, even if it's smooth, if I come close, like it's kind of like after you flat spot it, kind of always find way there. It has those tendencies at every corner, but the other ones I can use, 75 brake pressure.
A little bit everywhere. Wouldn't say one particular corner, but you were in a lot of traffic. Turn 16 and turn 1 are probably your best.
720, which was the 34, then the 11 ran a 37.37, and then it's a 1.2 second delta to third, which is the 38, and a 138.5. You ran a 139.8. If you find 1 second and run a 138.8, that puts you fourth.
All right, copy. What was like 10th and what was 20th?
You were 8th at a 39.8. 10th was a 140.0, so a tenth and a half slower than you. And 20th was a 140.85, 1 second slower than you.
All right, copy.
Day, trucks on track, and it couldn't be more perfect. Look at all the sailors just coming into port, checking out how their base has certainly transformed this weekend. I mean, it is completely slammed. NASCAR everywhere. There's a fan zone. All 3 series are here. Naval Base, San Diego, 1922 established. Look at all this old footage. Over 1,600 acres, 300 acres of water.
Just the size of this place alone, it's mind-boggling. You can just look around and forever see that there's so much going on here. So many sailors on this base as well.
Is completely slammed. NASCAR everywhere. There's a fan zone. All 3 series are here. Naval Base, San Diego, 1922 established. Look at all this old footage. Over 1,600 acres, 300 acres of water.
Just the size of this place alone.
There's a lot of buzz. I've walked around town and to the restaurants, not only for the base, but the surrounding communities as well, hotels, people want to come here to witness what this is and see the excitement and all the hype that has gone with it. And when you see it, it just blows your mind as to the visuals that you see.
A lot of race fans down in this area as well. And so how does this track stack up to the rest that we've raced at, guys?
Well, we can squeeze most of them inside of here. You can see that the combined length of those four races, just over 3.5 miles, and we're just under it.
Yeah, Lime Rock is actually another road course, and we'll have a very similar jump like we see going down into turn 2 from turn 1, where the truck gets off the ground. But those are the next 4 races on the schedule
here in California. And the reason why I think that's interesting is because the talk before practice at St. Pete was, oh man, this is going to be a tough place. You know, we're not going to be able to figure this out. One of the best road races we've ever had in the Truck Series, and I'm seeing the same type of thing here in Coronado.
This is the 3rd longest track we've ever raced at. Do you guys know the longest track the source was coming from? The water, we'll get it dried up, we'll get trucks back on track. What a sight.
I can. You can't spell American without it. At the Ram Make This the Summer sales event, say I can in a Ram truck. I can tow what others won't. Power through anything. Depend.
During the Ram Make This the Summer event, purchase and get 2.9% financing for 72 months, plus $3,500 bonus cash allowance on most 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cab models.
Okay. You got this. It's just a laxative. How scary could it be? You can do hard things.
Honey, relax. It's Miralax. It works with the water in your body to hydrate and soften for gentle relief.
Pipe in the ground. Something burst.
Yeah, one of the two, but it looked like it was just spilling out and then coming across from the left side of the racetrack, just running out to the right.
Either way, no good.
No, sir. Throttle and stuff.
Yeah, 10-4.
You know what I'm talking about there?
Yep.
Marker up on the barrier here at the line, because I think with the sun, the way it clears down, you can be hard to see the yellow line on the surface.
Copy that. Yeah, like a orange something on the wall, so you guys can know where it's at. 10-4.
Yeah, you know, it's like something stupid like a cone or something. I mean, you see the camera like over to your right, but it's probably helpful to have something.
Copy.
To you, Austin, to go faster and drive it like a Spec Miata.
But you can call everything from like the entry to turn 7, which is that first left-hander in the Red Bull section.
That's useless. It really needs, the spotter stand really needs to be almost in that kink before you get to turn 6. That straightaway between 5 and 6, there's a little kink. That's really where a spotter stand needs to be at.
Yeah, copy, and that's why I thought it would be beneficial to have a guy in 6, because I thought he would be able to see down that little straight chute leading from exit to turn 5 to 6, but you can't see it because of the bend in the straightaway.
Yeah, if he can't see the straightaway down through 6 into 6, it's useless then. If he can only see from 7 looking to 6, then yeah, that's useless to have somebody there.
Yeah, copy. Seth's up here right now, so I'm going to talk to him.
Hopefully we fix some of our issues to where we can get back to 50-50 eventually.
So fixing it.
Pit road, let's hear from him, Caitlin.
Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, Lauren, so how special is this for all of you here at the Naval Base to have NASCAR come to town?
Oh my gosh, Caitlin, this is really a dream come true for us. So it's an opportunity to tell the Navy story to an audience in a great, new, and exciting way. So we're so excited to be able to tell our story and share it with all the folks that are watching the race. So we're just so excited.
It's been pretty incredible seeing this all coming together. What What was the process like to get this base ready for NASCAR's arrival?
Yeah, it was a huge pull. We started actually about 2 years ago. NASCAR approached us and they wanted to partner with us to tell that story of the Navy's 250th birthday. So it took a lot of work, and we went through and looked at the feasibility of it, we looked at the impacts, and we made some decisions early that we wouldn't impact fleet operations. We always got to make sure that the fleet is ready, the squadrons, the sailors ready to deploy at any given time. But we decided that we thought we could bring it together and make it work, and as you can see, we were able to achieve that goal. Pretty great.
It is. Your team has done a fantastic job. So there is a race on Sunday. I'm curious if you have anybody that you're rooting for the victory in the Cup Series race on Sunday?
Yeah, great question. So every command here had the opportunity to pair with the driver. So my lawyers will tell me I can't endorse anybody specifically, but Riley Earp's the number 35 car is paired with Naval Base Coronado. So you're going to see my command logo out there on that car, and we're hoping for a great result.
That's really neat. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you what you've done here for NASCAR. Lauren Jacoby, great to hear from him and the insight into what all went into making this happen here in San Diego. Jamie?
Yeah, you could see the excitement and just loves to show off what they do. And it's really neat. He mentioned that each driver has a squadron. So I know when we were walking the track yesterday, there's different areas that are set up and it has their driver. I saw Kyle Larson's team and it's like, go Kyle Larson, and his number and his name. They're all so happy to have somebody to root for. And you'll see that on Sunday on Prime.
Yeah, I saw that video yesterday of Kyle Larson actually doing the burnout up on the carrier, and you don't realize the magnitude and how big those aircraft carriers are until you see what we think is a pretty big car up there on the runway and on the tarmac of the carrier doing a burnout, and it just looks like a little peanut up there, not even scratching the surface of being questionable as to how much room he needs to do that burnout. There was plenty of room.
That ship, and just being on that last night and seeing the sailors that were there and just welcoming NASCAR to this base and this event, it was spectacular. You see this picture of it, and jets are pretty big, right, Kevin? So you're like, that's a big boat. But until you stand on it and walk around on it, you're like,
I actually
holy
stayed
cow.
on one. It's been a long time. I actually stayed overnight on the USS Eisenhower a long time ago in the late 90s, and we were about 300 miles out into the Atlantic Ocean. And being able to stay on that carrier and see them do their exercises at night, those airplanes, and we actually landed on the aircraft carrier, got trapped, and then got launched off the aircraft carrier. Pretty amazing experience. But to be able to be on that ship and see how it functions, I think that one had 5,500 people on there, but they would launch those jets off that runway, and they'd disappear into the night. They'd turn on lights off, and it's like we weren't even there.
Wow.
What an incredible opportunity. That's an F-18 Super Hornet you see sitting there on the USS Carl Vinson. Incredible things we're seeing everywhere. This is not something we wanted to see. Another spill there with the cleanup truck. We continue to clean up here. Practice, though, coming up next.
Get ready, get in line if you want to.
Wake him up from his nap.
38. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's the 6th truck to go out on pit road.
Copy that. Thank you.
Got to run at least 3 to 4 laps before we make a change. Yeah.
In one spot, Eric.
Hey, on my stock car, like a 1/4 inch of a wedge adjustment with the track bar is kind of a big change. In this, is an inch a significant margin, or is it going to feel normal?
Yeah, it should be okay. It should give you, either, if nothing else, it may be a little too much, but it's nothing drastic.
Cool. Sounds good.
And
and the water was running under the wall. So I don't know who the foreman was on that job, but not too smart. I got you. They get it stopped. Candy store right now. It's a good thing you got such a good interior guy. That's a fact, Jack. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks. Do you guys have any NACAs in here just to circulate cabin temp or cabin air? Talking like a fan behind you or something just to circulate the air out the right side window or something? No, well, just old style NACAs forcing air in the cab to not have it be so stale in here. Well, like most crew chiefs and engineers, we'd find a way to not direct air to you, and we'd find a way to make it an aero device. Fair.
Feeling. Have you guys ever flown with the Blue Angels or gone up in any fighter jets?
I did last year and joined the 9G club.
Oh,
my
wow.
vision got very, very small, Mike.
Did you pass out? Or?
I did not pass out. No, we actually made the whole trip, and it's great when they take off. They go down the runway and they go straight up, and it's like, okay, here we are. And then we're doing barrel rolls and had a great time.
I was so happy. They said you can't be taller than 6'4", and I said, good. I'm 6'4.5". I'm not going.
That was the part I was not prepared for, is how we took off with the Blue Angels, just straight up. My head was actually forward, and yeah, 9.2 Gs. But what sets them apart or different from the Thunderbirds is you don't wear a G suit. You remember you had to learn that hiccup maneuver?
Well, I rode with the Thunderbirds, so I had
the
G suit on, and I was happy that I did. But actually, the part that surprised me the most was when you were flying the plane, just how sensitive the joystick was as to you go to the right, that thing is going to the right, and you pull that handle back, and it's going straight up in the air, and will do anything that you input into that joystick. So it's an amazing adventure, I guess you could say, to go and fly in those fighter jets.
Just makes you respect them so much. I mean, 9.2 Gs, you're just trying to hang on for dear life and not pass out, and they have to be ready for combat, feeling like that. It's unbelievable. You see the cleanup continues. I know we do have a high tide, but I don't think that's interrupting our track right now. Should be just another few minutes, and we'll get the truckers out there for some more laps, and then we'll switch over to qualifying.
Domino's best deal ever now includes stuffed crust. What do you
Is that off? Oh, it feels fine. Okay, 10-4.
Wraps a little harder and lower. I'm going versus your best lap versus his best lap. He creates in 13, he's a little further left, wraps a little longer, and it just seems like he straightens out that 13 section.
Yeah, when I turned into 13, I got kind of wadded up, ended up further right, and I wanted to be on my last lap. Repeat 12 overtime, sorry. Either everybody was talking at once, and it was a bunch of static or something.
You got it now, yeah. What you just said about 13, you being wadded up to your right makes all the sense in the world. If that doesn't happen, there's definitely some lap time there. Your 12A is very good, first part of the chicane. When you wrap back to the right around the second set of tires, you're very good again, still good. He just gets further right before the actual sharp turn 12, which lets him get rotated and pointed quicker, and that speed carries all the way down the straightaway to 13.
Okay. Copy that. Talk about the bus stop. The bus stop.
I'm getting there right now. One sec.
They could extend it and just kind of bump everything back some. The Cup guys are nowhere close to going through tech. I don't know if they go on track today.
not put fuel in until we get ready to roll.
The 11s.
Yeah, here you come. Look at this one. This will be the 1 and the 11. The 1's really fast down through there. The 1 and 34, I'm sorry. It's on a loop, so you can see that section.
Just now they were talking about it.
Yes, I did say that. That's, of course, on the CW. And Sunday, the epic conclusion to an all-American weekend with Cup racing at 4 Eastern on Prime. We're in San Diego. You have to say, keep it. Another beautiful shot. The USS Carl Vinson as we're awaiting practice.
This is a good break for these guys. They got that full session in. They're able to break down what they wanted to do, and if it was going to take a little bit longer than if they didn't have the time to make changes like they wanted, then they have that time now. So I'm sure they want to get back out there and get with it, but it's probably a nice little reset here for the teams.
Well, NASCAR has extended this session as well, so they'll end up getting about 30 minutes or so. So that's good news. They can dial in their trucks a little bit more before we swap over to qualifying. Let's check in again with Caitlin.
Well, Jamie, it was a big week for Jesse Love, announcing he'll be going full-time Cup Series racing in 2027 from Wood Brothers. How exciting is that announcement for you and that culmination and point in your career?
Yeah, it's so cool, right? It just gives us some clarity about the future so I can get back to kind of focusing on the present. So I'm in a way better headspace now that I got that kind of off my chest, and then I'm in a spot now where I'm not, still focused on what I'm going to do next year, who I'm going to do it with, and all that stuff. It kind of weighs on a driver a little bit. So, yeah, I'm in a really good headspace and obviously having a great time here in San Diego.
You mentioned a good time in San Diego. You were observing, obviously, here in Connor Mozak's pit. What have you observed about this track so far from the session? Yeah, it doesn't seem like the 7 is having the greatest time after they hit the wall, but they still have a lot of speed. So, yeah, I think Connor is going to do great today, and obviously the Spire guys are really helpful, and they're all really great people. So just kind of walked over here and see if I can pick up on a thing or two. Sometimes you walk over here and you try to learn some things and you learn nothing, and sometimes they give you a couple little nuggets, right, where you pick up on, so you don't have to go figure it out for yourself. So obviously turn 16 where Connor hit the wall is, I think, a little bit different from what we thought it was going to be after running some laps in the simulator. Just how the elevation changes. So track walk yesterday was really helpful. I'm glad they gave us 2 hours to do that. So we got to do that, and then obviously watch truck practice and how the track continues to get faster and what the fall off looks like, and maybe I can help my crew chief a little bit on heights and stuff like that. Hey, is the track rougher than the sim than you thought it was going to be coming here? Just so we can kind of be ahead of the ball game. Thank you for your time, and congratulations on the next chapter in your career.
Thank you, Caitlin. Yes, a future superstar. Time absolutely dominated, winning 50% of the races in ARCA in 2023. He's the O'Reilly champion last year, and next year he will be full-time in the Cup Series. We'll be back from Naval Base Coronado.
Man, when did health get so ludicrous? Turns out trying it all doesn't always add up. Oh, Mark. Oh, no. Thankfully, I take one a day to make sure I'm getting key nutrients daily. One a day, the one for you.
I don't know, one number backed up or what.
Bumpy, like somehow or another the radio was getting up against like the door pad, turning itself down.
That's funny.
If it's black, to the 20. 10-4, he's been way off, hasn't he? Yes, sir.
10-4. See that much.
That's the part we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, that's on the new lap. Give me a sec. Sorry. That's why I'm crossing over the start-finish line, so I wanted to give you 14:15. Now I'm going to that.
Yep, copy. Flavor that I've enjoyed. Tried a bunch of them. Cinnamons are fun for a second, but, you know, the chills are definitely better.
Yeah, copy. You gotta be from Florida to like the citizen.
Yeah, all that fucking fried brain shit helps bring you back. I like the citrus too. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I was on that for a little while, and then I got gout, so I blamed it on that.
Yeah, that's Tommy's problem too. He gets on them and they say they gets his guts all fucked up. It's not the fucking 25 Busch Lights he drinks every day.
Yeah, that's more.
It's alright. He probably can't hear you too good, but we can relay that later. Okay, sounds good.
It is a holiday, so many of them are off, and they were allowed to bring their families. So we've seen a lot of families, a lot of kids, a lot of pictures being taken yesterday on the track walk, Michael. That was really incredible.
Yeah, it's so I mentioned earlier, just we're happy to be here and they're happy to have us. It's just a beautiful weekend to celebrate their 250th birthday. And everybody, from anyone you run into, competitor-wise, is just thrilled to be here. A lot of anticipation or anxiety, I guess, over the track and what it would be like. But Kevin, I'd say you'd have to give it an A+ so far with the truck action we've seen. A couple guys got out of whack early, tidied that up, and had some good practice there.
I think as racers, that's just how we are, right? Like we want to pull out the worst and make it sound as bad as possible, and then you get there and sometimes it's that bad, but very rarely do you go to the racetrack and it winds up being that bad. And you know, I think just not knowing, that's the hard part for the racers, is to just not know. We're planners. We don't want to guess at anything, but there is some guesswork that goes into the preparation for these types of events because of the difference in surface and not being there and not knowing. And are the barriers as wide? You heard Lane Riggs talk about
moved them or felt like they weren't where
the barriers weren't in the same spot. So there's always going to be some variances once you get to the racetrack. And in NASCAR, we've seen them make some adjustments to the surfaces that they've redone, and moving barriers and things like that is always a part of a street course like this. So there's going to be some things that you have to adapt to as we're adapting right now to water in the middle of the racetrack.
We got that dried up, and I think track is going to be open. Kevin, real quick, I want to know more about Idaho. You went racing and you put it on them, won that race. What was that like?
We had our Cars Tour Pro Late Model Northwest race up there in Idaho, and first time I'd been to State Line Speedway, so a lot of great competitors. We had 37 cars show up, and they gave me a practice day, Mike, which we were talking earlier. I bet McMurray and a couple of these guys, Brendan Gong, were wishing they had a practice day too, to get your,
while nobody's looking, right?
Yeah, get all the rust knocked off, as Carter McMurray told his dad.
So we have just over 20 minutes remaining in practice number 2 here. Look at that shot, the downhill. That's the one place we do have that different transition. We saw some trucks catching air over it earlier.
Yeah, that's the downhill from turns 1 into turn 2, but that'll definitely make for some great pictures as we go through the weekend.
Remember back in the day when we were racing Cup cars at Sonoma, everybody would want to hop, Saturday morning, everybody would want to hop one of the curbs going up the hill there, get their tires off the ground, because there was always photographers there taking those photos, and they would share them with everybody. Kind of do that on purpose on your cool down lap. Well, they're doing this on purpose, but they don't have a choice. They got to be wide open down that hill, and there's a big jump there.
Getting on board with Jamie McMurray here.
And we talk about street racing and you know, this being something new, but we actually raced through the streets of Los Angeles in the late 90s in the Southwest Tour. They had a course just like this set up outside the LA Coliseum, but same type of situation. You go through the bumps, you go through the gutters, you go over the gutters, you go over the drains, manhole covers. That's just part of the street course surface, and you see all the pavement right here that is different than, you know, many places on the course. They filled in the train tracks right there, and this part of the straightaway is pretty rough, but everybody's dealt with it pretty well.
This is just the second time in the history of the Craftsman Truck Series that we've raced on a street course. And the first time was earlier this year at St. Pete. But the difference is IndyCar had run at St. Pete for 20 plus years. So there was a lot of onboard footage, a lot of things that these drivers could watch to help prepare for. There was nothing here. You had iRacing and that was it.
And they've done a really good job. iRacing and NASCAR have done a really good job of getting these courses designed and getting the surfaces, you know, pretty close to be able to just have the general concept of what you're doing when you get here. So they've done a great job. And I remember when we did the Chicago street course, you just get all the information from NASCAR and iRacing, and then the manufacturers take it and put it in their simulators and do all the work that they do. Pretty darn close to what we had when we got there. And I get the feeling that's where a lot of the drivers are right now as far as their preparation. It's never going to be perfect, but it was close enough to get the general concept of everything that you're doing.
Yeah, I went over to my golfing buddy Steve Letart's house the other day, and we did some iRacing, and we figured out real quick, or I figured out real quick, he said, you probably need to drive this Mazda Miata. That's your best bet to get around the racetrack and learn the track a little bit, because driving a cup car on that surface, a truck, was very, very difficult. So it's really cool, all the tools that these drivers have at their disposal these days.
And I actually like to use the supercar when I do iRacing to try to prepare for the road courses, just because it's a little easier to drive, and all you want to do is make laps.
Learn the twists and turns, like this chicane here. A lot going on right there. I think when you try to have a restart, we're going to see some action in that part of the racetrack.
And here we go. Jamie's coming back to the start-finish line. They've kind of spread themselves out, trying to give themselves some space. So easy to get yourself in trouble just bouncing off of one of these bumps wrong, and you see right here, 15 truck.
That could be backup.
Tanner Gray.
Oh, yeah.
He had an issue earlier, but I think they were okay and escaped disaster, and here they got a big piece of the wall.
Yeah, that is a disaster right there. That is a backup truck, I'd say, Mike, for sure.
I got on the splitter to one there and smashed the wall.
Said he bottomed out when he went into turn one.
Yeah, that's 62 truck there.
That's Kaz Gralla.
Kaz just barely scraped the wall. That's going to happen. This is a major crash here.
This team will have about 5 hours to prepare that backup truck and get it out for our coverage, which starts at 4 local, 7 Eastern.
Oh, I can't wait, Jamie. We're going to go racing. This practice session's been so entertaining and fun to watch, but man, you put all these trucks out there together, we're going to have a show.
Well, you mentioned it, Michael. I think it's the word of the day, anxiety. The excitement of being here, but the anxiety of just the unknowns here.
Well, and this is when it gets harder, when you get into this second practice session, and now you've gone through the first session, you've learned the track, you think you know where you can make up that time. We see the 77, Justin Marks.
Some of these teams, Kevin, talking to some of the drivers, up to 4 spotters around this racetrack, and you could see that's a blind. You come around that corner blind. If you don't have your spotter letting you know there's something up ahead in the form of a 77 truck, could be big trouble. So
quite a bit of damage on the left front for Justin Marks.
Well, we got off to a pretty good start in that first session, had a couple, and then we got smoothed out. Now we're right back at running into stuff.
And I was on my way to making the point of it's time to start pushing things, but before we had 2 trucks that were basically, this one's totaled right here with Tanner Gray, and you know the other truck is Justin Marks. Can't see the right side of it, but the spoiler is not level on that truck, so he definitely has some damage.
What a long drive back to pit road for
You don't know how
Tanner Gray.
painful that is, too, Jamie, as a driver. You know, you just made this mess, and now you got to ride home in it.
Let's see what happens here with Justin Marks.
Oh, loose.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's going to hit those outside barriers with the right side. And what we were seeing was after he hit the barriers and it slung it around the opposite way, on the racetrack. That's that section of concrete that Lane Riggs was talking about earlier that was really slick, and you know, you have to kind of just walk the truck through there. And Justin, that's the hard part about when you don't drive these things all the time, like a Lane Riggs or a Honeycutt. You don't have that ability to just kind of walk that truck around while it's sliding. It gets out from underneath you before you even know what happens, and that truck of Justin Marks hit the wall a ton.
And you can see he's going to get out of it knowing that he can't even drive it back. So that's another.
Hate to see that for Justin Marks. Of course, the driver back in the day in the O'Reilly Series, won at Mid-Ohio, team owner for Trackhouse. But his day has taken a terrible turn as we're under caution right now. They need to adjust the wall in turn 1 where Tanner Gray hit it. So working on trucks, working on the track. We've got about 13 minutes left here in the final.
Way slicker right now.
Yeah, I was told all green lights is pit speed. That was about 4,300.
Copy. Is that first gear or second gear?
First gear.
Second, you said.
No. Oh, second is the speed, or I was in first?
Copy. No, I'm just getting it for my notes, so I have it for later on our pit road run.
Yeah, I think that's right. I can barely see the lights.
Sorry, I meant they're sending it from turn 2, so he's slowly going up the hill.
Gnarly. Yeah, she's killed.
37 class.
How you feel like your balance is right here?
5 minutes.
Did you feel like that helped your braking where you were, you know, here, so you can see me. Like as you went down and did this, did that fix some of that?
Yeah, definitely had more confidence in the brakes right there, and I think that's where the lap time came from. So I felt pretty good on the brakes. I don't have any complaints at this point on that. Just looking for front turn.
All right. And therefore, I'm going to write that down, that you like the brakes, because I heard you never liked brakes, so I'm pretty happy about that.
10-4. I only like them if they're good.
I get it. That's why we spend the money and do the right things to make sure you get the right way you want. So everything, you got the splitter, just rubbed it like you would have rubbed it with a dang grinder. No damage. And then you just, yeah, there's nothing. You just put some beauty marks on it. There's nothing even to work on. It's fine.
Yeah, 10-4. It wasn't even on corner exit, really. It was kind of in the middle of the short chute there. The wall, I mean, it's not straight anywhere here, so.
Yeah, I know. I think you just drive it in the wall. It's all good.
You got timing and scoring you can put on the tablet?
Yeah, buddy. Come through.
I moved the barriers back. They're going to have to remove these barriers, so it might take a minute.
You did a lap time there, I'm guessing not many.
Honeycutt is the fast. He ran a 1:36.32. 38 was 1:37.80.
Also had a big issue and a big fire. That was in progress, the end, right after the hit.
Yeah, basically he overcorrected right here, and this truck is going to, instead of hitting that wall, he's trying to slide it, and then it hits the right side on the outside wall, knocks our camera out, flips that truck around backwards, and that's a backup. That's a big hit right there.
You know, Kevin, we ended that first session on a smooth note. Just thought we could maybe make some tweaks to our chassis setup and download with the team and go out and have a smooth second session. Well, that's certainly not the case. Two big hits.
No, and when you try to make speed on these road courses, you just on these street courses, it's not like a typical road course where you have a runoff area. You can run through the grass, a sand pit, or extra asphalt that's paved. You see the massive damage on the right side of Justin Marks' truck right there. But that's the danger of the street course. How much risk do you want to take to be able to make that lap time to try to make yourself more competitive? And we've saw early in this session 2 trucks just step over and you see the penalty of what happens.
The 19 here.
He's got some damage too, it looks like.
Daniel Hemrick. Let's check in with Josh.
Yeah, standing by with Daniel Hemrick as you saw the damage to the right side of that truck. So what happened during that practice session that resulted in this damage?
Just made a mistake. And just kind of the nature of the beast, right? If you're going to push the limits, you're going to step over them, and that's what I did. There's definitely, as y'all probably seen, you probably have more time to digest than we have, but there's large amounts of lap time in certain sections, and I felt like the section I needed to work on a lot was where it ultimately hit the fence at. So I was just saying, Josh, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So I hate it for everyone on the Napa Auto Care, Silverado. Yeah, these 19 boys, though, I believe we're going to be able to salvage, and mostly cosmetic. So fingers crossed that that's what it is. We'll know for sure here in about a minute or two. But yeah, I hate to make them work this hard in a scenario where we got qualifying coming up here, but just yeah, very thankful to these guys and the effort they put in, and nonetheless really cool to be out here. Just hate to make a mistake.
19 team hard at work fixing up that truck, guys.
Feels like he's got a chance to repair that truck and not go to the backup. As you see, the team, the Napa boys, are all over the back of that thing.
Well, he was quick. He was top 8 there in that first practice, so I'm sure he's frustrated. We've seen him be really fast on road courses, so I know he comes in with a lot of expectation.
And when you say quick, and Mike made a reference to it as we were going through the end of that first practice session, he was quick, but needed almost 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? Like to keep up with the guys that were fast. And we see in this practice session, Caden Honeycutt has actually picked up the pace into the 2:16s, low 2:16 second bracket.
The only driver in that bracket.
And that just puts more pressure. But he's a second and a half faster than the guy in second of Chandler Smith right now, who's ran 2:17.8. And in order to do that, you have to do exactly what Daniel Hemrick just said. You got to see where that chunk of time is that you're giving up to be able to make up that time to try to get yourself closer to the lap time that you want. And when it's not there, you wind up in the barrier.
You know, it's interesting conversation we had a little earlier. I know you work with Landon Lewis and telling him, trying to coach him along and represent him. And would you share with the folks at home what you told him to do in this first session?
I said, do not crash that truck. Do not even think about pushing it hard enough to crash that truck, because the most important thing that you can do in these scenarios is familiarize and memorize the track and the bumps, the brake markers, and everything. That all the characteristics of the track are the most important thing. You can go out and you better have that put together, and so that you can go out and put the lap time down that you think you can do, and with all the pieces in each section to go through and make that happen. So his truck is still rolling. That to me is the most important part, is to get as many laps as you can, especially with a young kid, you know, like Landon Lewis and his Nice Motorsports 45 truck. You want to go out and just, they did a great job at St. Pete, but you want to do the exact same thing. Keep the fenders on the truck, make the laps, let everybody else make the mistakes. Even if you almost need to take the top guys out of the game, right? Like take the top 5 out. Let's just shoot for 6th and go to that lap time. And a lot of times the rest of it will take care of itself by guys that are doing exactly what they're doing right now and making mistakes and in the barrier. And if you just finish these races and qualifying, you know, somewhere around the top 10 and put yourself in a position to not make any mistakes, you're going to have a solid day.
Well, let me tell you what your guy did that I think will make you proud. He was top 20 in that first session. He ran his fastest lap on his last lap on the track. So just steadily got better and better, and now he's ready to roll again here in session 2. And as a young racer, when you see veterans make mistakes like we've seen in this session, that makes you even more cautious about what you're going at.
Well, the fact that he finished 6th, to your point, at St. Pete, gave me hope, and that's somebody I'm going to be watching. That's Landon Lewis. We had 3 hits. That was the 9. Grant Enfinger got into the wall a little bit. Big hit right here for Justin Marks. And Tanner Gray going to a backup. We had Kaz Gralla kiss the wall right there.
Now, 10-4. they'll tell us down here. My guys are just waiting to change tires. Thanks, Brandon.
Yep, copy that.
They're going back to their garage stalls.
Oh yeah, they're backup trucks for sure.
All right, guys, we'll get ready for qualifying. Let's get our tires out. Cool down hose.
Dump it. You can hop out, Ben. 4, can I have a pink pin at your convenience?
Help ourselves. Give me as much as we can on that right rear. 1 second.
Step's playing a video game and it looks like.
All right, since we're in session 1, let's just change to our qualifying tires. Let's get ready like we're going to mock and go make a qualifying run. We're going to make our first lap. If it's still vibrating, we're changing there. We have nothing to lose at that point.
4.
How long do we have?
About. I talked on you.
When we get back, boys, we got like 5 minutes to change tires. We got 10 minutes right now until the start of the qualifying session. So get in here, no fuel, change the tires. I want to look at the left side when we go up.
And then cool it back down for a little bit of fuel.
Tires. Help Corey change the tires. I copied you on that unless you just want to do it. It'll make my life easier. Grab some brake clean and a rag, though.
Sailors, you got to stop there. I don't know how often, Kevin. Those long red flags, and Lane Riggs was one of them. Of course, he was fastest in the first session, so the second session it was Caden Honeycutt, and he was the fastest all day, Kevin. You noted he got down in the 2:16 range. So now we have about 10 minutes. We're going to swap over to qualifying. We'll have 2 groups here for their qualifying session. It'll be 1 round.
Good run for Parker Kligerman in that session too. Both speed in both sessions, and he's 3rd there. I was talking to the team yesterday, and that's the truck they won Mid-Ohio with a couple of years ago. So it's got a
There's some motorsports.
It's got some
age on it.
Yeah, a little bit, but they put a new dress on her.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's performing well.
They do a lot with a little. Good to have Parker Kligerman back.
Beautiful number 75 for Parker.
Yeah. Let's check in with Caitlin.
I'm joined right now with Landon Lewis. And Landon, you told me that Kevin gave you some advice before this session. How did it go for you so far with the 2 practices?
Well, I think you'd be happy. Right now I don't have a wrecked truck, so that's a good thing. Honestly, just trying to get used to everything. The track's really rough compared to what I thought it was going to be, but overall, man, this place is really fun. I can't wait to race, see how it's going to race, but sucks practice kind of got cut short there, but I feel like our JF Electric Chevrolet is really fast. Just got to put all the pieces together and keep it out of the wall.
We heard from Alnice earlier, obviously with his military ties, specifically here to San Diego. What's it like for you racing for him and all of that representing?
Well, it's super cool. Just, you know, he served at this base before, and just it's so honoring for us drivers to be able to race on the base. And without them, you know, our Navy and our troops, we wouldn't be able to be here without them. So just super cool to be here and driving down into turn 3 with a ship behind it. Just so awesome, and hopefully can collect a trophy here later today. I think the trophy would be pretty cool to win, but I'm just thankful for the opportunity and hopefully can get going here soon.
Nice work taking Kevin's advice, and good luck to you. All right, Josh?
Standing by with Ty Majeski, 6th on the board during this shortened second practice session, but you had the first practice session as well, so how did you feel about your truck and getting to understand this track?
Yeah, obviously difficult. Super thankful for iRacing, Ford Sim, for giving us the opportunity to get some track time before we came here this weekend. Yeah, the line is very, very sharp between, you know, being in the racetrack and wheel hopping, and the braking zones are super rough, so very easy to make a mistake here. A lot of the fast corners are rough, and 16, turn 1, so it's very easy to make a mistake. So just have to be disciplined today. We saw a lot of guys make mistakes already, and so far our Menards Ford F-150 with Spam on the hood is clean. Hopefully we can keep it that way and give ourselves a decent qualifying run. Qualify up front, track position is going to be big just to stay out of that hornet's nest. So it's going to be a wild day, and hopefully we can keep it clean.
This is one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences we all get to be a part of. What has it been like so far for you?
It's been a great experience. Honestly, you know, I don't think anyone knew what to expect coming into a naval base like this, and NASCAR and everybody at the base has made it very easy for us race teams to come here and do what we need to do and do our jobs. And yeah, I think we'll have the opportunity to come here, like you said, once in a lifetime. And yeah, it would be awesome to win here for sure.
And Jamie, remember, he was the runner-up at St. Pete, looking to finish one spot later as we return to a street course.
Yes, great run for him at St. Pete. I love watching Joe Shear Jr., his crew chief in the background, barking those orders to his guys. Let's get these things buttoned up. Let's get a good qualifying session here. I mean, you have a little bit of time, guys, and it was going to be a little bit longer, but because the practice session incidents, they have a little less time to make those changes as we switch over to qualifying here.
Well, the good news is they didn't really go out on the racetrack, so it won't take long to get the engine cooled back off and do all the things that they typically do for their qualifying adjustments, and change those tires and see what happens.
Qualifying coming up, 35 trucks. We do have a few that will not make a qualifying run. They'll roll off in the back. But we're loving our time here at Naval Base Coronado. Stay with us.
One still needs to charge. I'll kill this one first. Correct.
To make it up in the second one, then still run 2. If you got everything out of the first one, then bring it 2.
Copy. Bit higher for us if you can.
Check the jump.
helicopters, sailors all over, and then we've got our NASCAR truckers. And boy, have we seen some action today, boys, between 2 practice sessions.
Yeah, we've seen this last corner right here. 5 truck right off the bat got himself in trouble, and then you see the 99 truck do the exact same thing, Michael.
And there's another one into that outside wall.
You'll flip the gear fan on.
Grala bounces off the wall as well, and then this is a big one.
Yeah, 14, 15 section, Justin Marks got a little loose going into 14 and all the way wrecked all the way through 14 and 15. So that'll definitely be a backup for Justin Marks.
C5 trucks will not qualify. They will make the show, but we might have a couple backup trucks, and they don't have much time to get things turned around and ready for the race coming up at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. We're going to have group qualifying. That's coming up next.
You can tell me good. It's open, and let's try to be the first one out that we have for the racetrack. Copy, I'll be ready. In here, okay? So probably go out a little bit early, just, you know, gonna need a big gap. Yeah, 10-4. Should be okay on getting a gap with, you know, he just needs to watch his mirrors and just drag as much as he can. So I'll help him all I can over here. Copy. Japan. Okay, we're going to wait a little bit here. Okay. I'll start timer just to make sure. They're popping in my ear.
Certainly breezy around here at the racetrack, but absolutely gorgeous. Around 72 degrees. Nice day for a paddle. As we get ready for Group 1 to take to the track, let's check in with Josh.
Yeah, standing by with Gio Ruggiero, who was just debriefing with Corey Heim, who's over here. But I want you to bring me through what a lap is like here at this place.
Yeah, it's wild, man, but I'm having a lot of fun out there. Wish we would have got more time in the second practice, but yeah, I feel really good about our truck. Didn't really push it too hard. I wanted to, you know, make sure we made it to qualifying in the race and keep it clean. But yeah, the bumps out there are so egregious going down some of the straightaways. You get kind of a jump, you know, going into turn 2 downhill. I think you're going to see a crazy race today, but it's going to be a good show. There's a lot of passing zones, a lot of braking zones where you're going to see a lot of dive bombing. So yeah, just gotta be there at the end of the race and keep the truck clean.
What is your biggest takeaway from being here at Coronado and everything that goes into this weekend so far?
Yeah, it's so cool to be here at the military base and see that, you know, big ship, you know, where they're all going to be watching from is really badass. So yeah, it's exciting, and I'm just really grateful to be here and and thankful for, you know, Toyota's resources, man. I feel like they did a really good job helping us prep for this event.
Thanks, Gio, and good luck. Caitlin?
Well, Josh, Grant Enfinger is going to be in the second group for qualifying. What was the feedback to your team after practice, and what do you think you have for qualifying?
Honestly, I feel like our Grant County Mulch Chevrolet has some grip. Like, feel like it's turning pretty good with decent drive when the tires are on the track. So having some major issues in the braking zone. You never want to have braking zone issues at a road course, but just literally keeping the front tires on the track, picking up a front wheel hop, which I've never experienced in my life, but it is aggressive, and we've been working on that pretty much the whole time. We just put on another set of tires to go back out there when we had the red flag. So hopefully the tires fix it. I don't know what to say other than that. It is a razor's edge out there. Very unforgiving racetrack. It's a lot of fun. It's a great experience to be here. But yeah, I feel like we needed another 2 hours of practice, and we're going right here into qualifying.
You're a veteran of this series. You've been to a lot of different events, of course. Where does this one rank in terms of the experience for you?
I thought St. Petersburg was some uncertainty. This is way more uncertainty as far as just, I think chaos and attrition is going to take its toll here today for sure. And just as far as an unforgiving racetrack, as dirty as it was right there, that's probably the most I've ever experienced in my life. So yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting on the track, but it's just an awesome experience. Hats off to NASCAR, and thankful for our Navy. The past and present that's with us here this weekend. It's a pretty special event.
Thanks for your time. Good luck to you. Jamie?
Well, you mentioned it, a veteran in this sport, 234th career start in the Truck Series, and I heard a lot of, I've never experienced that. I just experienced this for the first time, so a lot of new things for Grant Enfinger.
Well, I've never heard of front wheel hop, so he's got some sort of issue there that would be new to me as well.
Yeah, that is definitely a first to hear the. I've heard of caster shake where it would rip the wheel out of your hands under braking, but never a wheel hop. But I think that's the difference between when you have the next generation of racers that come through that really hadn't had all that experience to know that this is a little bit abnormal with all the bumps and the surfaces and the street course racing. Grant feels a lot about it like very similar to what I did with the uncertainty and knowing that razor's edge is right there next to what you're doing on the racetrack. But in order to be successful at these types of racetracks, two things have to happen. You either have to be really fast and take those chances and not hit anything, or you take the approach of knowing that there's going to be some chaos and knowing that there's going to be carnage and just put yourself in a position to have a solid day, which in these types of scenarios, you just never know how far forward that will put you. So survival definitely sounds like it's going to be key today.
Well, and what I've seen from watching these trucks on the track and walking the track and being here, like someone asked me, where's the best passing zone? Yes.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I mean, you can literally dive bomb, and we've heard a couple drivers say that. You're going to be able to take it hard into the corner versus another guy and make any one of these turns pretty much a passing zone.
Well, good news, guys. Green flag is in the air for Group 1 for qualifying. There's our drivers. See, Adam Andretti, Tanner Gray will not qualify. They had their issues. Adam Andretti had the first one of the day, so work continues on those trucks. Jackson Lee, one to watch in this group, making his third career start for Realm Racing. He's got that California Closet sponsorship, and he'll be in for the next race as well. All road courses for the youngster out of Indianapolis.
Cole Butcher, number 13. Didn't have the kind of practice session in that first run that I know that they were hoping for. Felt like he'd have some good speed here, but.
And I would assume Cole doesn't have hardly any road course experience. Being a super late model racer, spent a lot of time in the ASA National Series coming up through the ranks, and not any road courses on that schedule, Mike. So all ovals for the most part for Cole.
He was doing a smart thing yesterday. We know what a talented racer Majeski is, second down at St. Pete. He was doing the track walk with Ty and just asking him question after question about angles and where you swing wide and where to take a chance, where not to. So as we watch Jackson Lee in that 2 truck.
Jackson's the son of Our fellow correspondent over on the IndyCar on Fox side, Kevin Lee. And he's a tall one. Michael, he's about your height.
Yeah.
Maybe he's simply a little bit taller, but he told us about running at St. Pete. He was folded up literally in that seat. He couldn't feel his leg, and I think both legs in the third and final stage.
California Closets on board that number 2 truck, getting him this opportunity. Costs money to buy those tires, and
long ways from home too.
Yes, it is. So loves road racing. Good to see him get this opportunity with the 2 truck.
Well, and you know how hard this is, Michael, to be able to take everything that you've done in practice and know, as I look at Jackson, he ran a 2:23.2 in the first practice session. We saw the quick time was 2:16.3 in the second practice, and you know, as a driver, there's a lot of time out there to pick up, and now you have to go through that risk-reward scenario of, okay, I want to pick up a lot here, a little bit there, and put all those pieces together to make a better lap time. And oh, by the way, everybody else is probably going to go faster too. So you got a lot to balance to get the speed out of the truck here for qualifying.
Yeah, that's like, you just ask yourself while you're doing this, like, is this worth it? You know, am I going to take a chance here? I know I can pick up some time, but I've got to make sure I keep my truck in one piece, especially this team. You know, Josh Ram does a great job with these trucks, but the budget is not there to just have unlimited resources. And some of these teams, you know, they come with 2 barrels loaded, both backup truck and primary, that they think they can win the race with, and it's not the case for a lot of teams.
And I still think that the drivers are still learning. They didn't get that second practice session. They've had some time, as you see Justin Haley come around to the front straightaway here. I think they're all still learning. They want to apply and adapt everything that they've taken from the first practice, but you know, now you got to be a little bit braver. And if you're being conservative, if you're Jamie McMurray, you've got to be braver than what you were and push your comfort zone right to the edge of what you think that grip level is.
Well, you guys, it's Father's Day weekend, so happy early Father's Day to both of you. New father, first time, Justin Haley.
That's beautiful.
Look at that. Right?
Around the race shop, that's what I was going to say. At the track, just sharing those memories. It's wonderful.
So congratulations to him. And I've seen so many of the kids, also the sons and their dads out here, like we saw Carter and Jamie McMurray together. Great place to do it, a lot to do under the sun here in San Diego.
Justin didn't have a very fast run in that second session. And I think you got to put an asterisk by that a bit, though, because you don't know who really got a chance to go out there and run where they were.
Yeah, he ran a 2:20 and was 20th quick in the first session. So definitely that's his target right now, as you see the back of that truck dancing around right there.
Look at those black marks they're leaving there off that turn, spinning those Goodyear tires.
5 drivers now have taken a lap time. Jackson Lee on top, 2:22.36 the time to beat. So we'll have 2 20-minute sessions here. They will be combined, and that will decide the pole and the lineup for today's race.
Yeah, you see Justin coming through the back portion of this racetrack towards the start-finish line. We have an alternate start-finish line right here out of turn 15.
Andres Perez to the top. Congratulations to his World Cup team of Mexico. Got the big win. I know he has his family, a lot of friends here, and they went to a local restaurant that celebrated, had the game on last night. Match.
Justin Haley jumps up to second. See that lap by Perez? That's getting with it. Starting to rival where we saw Caden Honeycutt.
Yeah, and that's about a 2.5 second pickup for Perez as he went from practice into qualifying. But that's what we were talking about, right? Like, you know that there's more out there, but the most important thing are those laps. So this is the time that you have to put all that together. See that right front tire lock up through the chicane.
Bet you there's a lot of high fives in that 44 pit. That was a great lap. Put himself right in contention.
Christian Eck is here. Didn't sound too excited about what he had, but decent speed, right?
Said he wasn't any good.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty good. We're going to see it here, too.
He's one of those. Unless he's first, not satisfied. So they made some changes on this race truck, try to get a little bit more out of it for qualifying. He was 11th in that final practice.
I do love his attitude and that about him, Jamie. You know, he just tells you that he no matter how good he is, he thinks he can be better. And that's basically what it comes down to. If he's not first, leading every lap, sitting on the pole, then he's not happy. And that's the way he challenges himself. We get to hear a lot of it.
As you see him exit turn 4, he's going to take that left-hander right here through turn 5. Big sweeping corner. You want to keep that truck right against the wall as he heads up into the chicane at 6 and 7.
Look at that speed through there, Kevin. Really fast part of the racetrack.
So fast, rough. Kind of have that curve. Then you have to slow it all the way down here into turn 6, over into 7. Down a little short chute. Pretty narrow right here through this short chute into 8.
We got notes from NASCAR. If the track becomes blocked, well, that's why they said that. You see how narrow that is?
Yeah. Then you go to this section, it's super wide through 8 and 9.
Room everywhere. Racing up toward turn 12, the turn 12 complex.
Yeah, we've got 12, 12A, 12B.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Eckes hard into that barrier. Substantial damage on the right side.
And that's that section of concrete that these guys keep talking about being so on the edge, and they've got those tire barriers over the edge of the drain right there, but Eckes just too much speed going down into that.
Because of this incident with Christian Eckes, the caution is out for the first time in qualifying. Big damage for the 91.
Where do we think that'll put us? Is that good enough?
Well, it's never good enough, but right. I mean, we're locked in anyway, and I'm sure we'll be 25th or somewhere between 15th and 25th. What do you think?
Yeah.
Help you for the race so you can understand why some of them are doing what they're doing, wrecking-wise, not making it any speed.
Yep, copy.
Yeah, because can we roll by you? It's pretty bad.
Let's go up with the front tires here. We're going to air pressure, guys. Get ready. Get your bottle ready.
Turn all your fans off. Turn your switch off. I don't want to kill the battery here.
Totaled another truck, so they're doing their job for us right here, and we'll just tune on some adjustments here, man. Yeah, cool. I'll get out now.
Well, for this turn, because all 4 tires come off the ground of that 13 truck through that last turn right there. It's unbelievable.
More, I think all the rubber's out right now. Indeed. The 10 trucks that have taken time there. Copy that, unboxing.
4 holes on each side of that, taped off, cut that off. In other words, the entire top row needs to be open. And we probably ought to open a little bit of the brakes. Probably a 2x3 maybe on each side, 2 inch by 3 inch opening on each side.
I don't know if you need to do the brakes. They were fine.
All right, leave the brakes alone. Leave the brakes alone. How hot did it get, Parker? Did you see?
50 on the water. Copy. All right, track is green.
The other way, back the other way. Keep coming, stop.
Yeah, go ahead.
In there. What a night. Let's check in with Josh.
And I'm standing by with Caden Honeycutt, our most recent road course winner. First career win was at Watkins Glen. This is a whole different beast here, though. So what's been the experience like so far getting to learn this track and know what you got?
Man, it's pretty interesting for sure. There's so much character around the racetrack, and I think that's what makes it so fun. There's not really much where you can go to avoid the bumps and everything. And you just got to be methodical on where you think about you're going to brake at. So if you try to go 100 foot later, you're going to probably walk up or something and go head on the fence. Or if you back up too much and you lose too much speed. So I tell you, Judge, that was probably the most fun road course experience I've had ever. That is just, it takes so much mental focus. And I feel like if you miss one corner, it takes 2 minutes to get around the entire course. So it's your lap's messed up after that. So it'll be really crucial in qualifying to stay locked in the whole time and not make any mistakes. Definitely been a lot of mistakes I've seen in practice for sure. So just want to thank this whole crew, Scott Zipadelli, this whole 11 team, Safe Flight, Tricon Garage, Toyota Racing for preparing the best we could to come out here and see if we can win here on the Naval Base in San Diego.
Appreciate your time and good luck in qualifying and in the race, Caden.
Well, when you're fast, it certainly is fun. A 2-minute, 16-second lap has been the fastest so far for Caden Honeycutt. I love his enthusiasm. He's having fun here today, guys.
Well, he's having fun, and his truck seems to be driving well and having grip. That makes it a lot more fun. But they're doing a great job of giving him what he needs to go out there and perform. But we have not seen that get into the tires there through the chicane in that turn 12 section. Tore the right rear off of it. Hopefully it's just from the tire packs, it's just cosmetic damage, but it hit those tires pretty hard.
Here's
Corey
LaJoie. He's been pretty quick today.
Yeah, he's had a good day. And so look at Nathan Nicholson too in that 76 truck down into the 2:19 seconds. That's about a second better than he practiced earlier. So nice job there by the 76 team, Spencer Boyd's group.
Have the track map up there. You can see where he is going through 12B.
Yeah, and that's where Chandler Smith just wrecked. And so Corey's going to go down this back straightaway, go through that sweeping left-hander through turn 13 and in through the 14, 15 corners right after this. And as he exits 15, that's where he will take the green flag for the alternative start-finish line here for qualifying. See him go through 14, 15 right there. So on the clock.
That was Christian Eckes, Kevin, that got into the power wall.
Down through what will be turn 1, well, last corner, 16. Start-finish line towards turn 1. When the normal start-finish line is there for the race, that'll be pit road that he just went by. Downhill, that big jump as we go into turn 2.
Get to make a couple of lefts. These guys are used to making lefts. That's got to feel pretty good down the hill.
You see Corey use all the racetrack right there as he exits turn 2 into turn 3 here. And really, that if you're going to make the most speed, you got to have the truck right next to the wall. You see him wide off of turn 4, and that truck just slide.
Gaining a lot of speed. Slight left-hander here.
Yeah, that's turn 5. You want to be right next to that inside wall. Big sweeping right or left-hand corner.
Heavy braking down into 6 here. You can see traffic ahead too. That's something you don't want to see when you're making a qualifying run. Heard the guys at Honeycutt talk about a 2-minute lap. When something goes wrong, it takes you all that time to get back around and do it again. Well, that would be terrible to have to pass someone in a braking zone.
And that's what you want right there. As you see, Brendan Gong got out of the way in a great spot to not impede Corey LaJoie's lap right there.
3 drivers have yet to take a full lap. Corey LaJoie.
Down through 10 and 11 right there. Off into the turn 12 section that we saw Christian Eckes wreck right there. Gonna get the start-finish line as he exits.
Bright-colored yellow, pink walls really helps these drivers designate exactly how much they can push this truck. want to make sure you can see clearly where the barriers are. Whoa, big slide there.
Yeah, and that's where we saw Justin Marks get that big slide earlier, and he didn't catch it.
Second for Corey LaJoie, the 2:18.16. So 2 drivers remain.
Corey going to make another lap, and we saw this in practice. They just kept getting faster. We know the tires are better when they're new, but they don't seem to lose a lot of time, Michael.
Corey was a couple of seconds better than he practiced earlier, so improvement to the truck, I'm sure, but also just confidence and pushing it hard for qualifying.
Well, Stuart Friesen was on track right behind Christian Eckes when he went around and hit the tire barrier. So here he is trying to put up his first lap, actually second lap of the day. You see that first one down in 13th. There's Brendan Gaughan. He just had an incident, comes to a stop.
Like maybe overshot the corner.
Turn 16 wall.
Gosh, that turn 16 wall, really high speed corner coming onto the front straightaway, and we have seen that. That's got to be.
My bad.
He's just going to back it up into his pit stall.
My bad, he said. You know, it's tough. It's tough, Kevin. That speed
damage.
And the exit to that turn, wall just jumps out and grabs you. Oh wow, this is another speed.
Get his first clean lap of the day. And now add that to the list of damaged race trucks here.
That could be back up as well.
Our stat boys are working hard over here making a list.
Oh, same exact section right there as we saw Justin Marks, and it's going to result in the exact same accident. They'll have to push those barriers back. Man.
So red flag is out with 4 minutes remaining for group number 1. Andres Perez with that huge lap.
There.
Turn.
Up into his pit stall.
My bad, he said. You know, it's tough. It's tough, Kevin. That speed
damage.
And the exit to that turn.
Trucks and the hard part about when these red flags come out like this, when you're in the middle of your lap, you got to go back to the garage. Tires are hot. And then you got to go back out and get all the way back around to the start finish line. Mike. So when you look at 4:43, I mean, there's a scenario that you may only get one green flag lap by the time this session ends.
Frustrating. Coming out under caution for this incident. Base Coronado.
The place you call home is important to you, so it's important to Allstate. Now. Because it's not just the home we protect, it's all the... Come on, buddy. If it's important to you, it's important to us. You're in good hands with Allstate. Good boy.
Capture moments.
That 20 needs a backup. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back. You guys know what to do. Hit it with water and just make you a smooth lap. You know what I'm saying? That 129 that you run before in race trim, 139 will get you a decent spot. Just be smart here, guys.
Yeah, and tell me if they need a backup. Like, for real. Up in front of us instead of hitting the chip way down there. The ones that stay lower and don't get in the jumps is better. The jumps is what's killing them.
That had to feel weird.
Yeah. I think I figured it out a little bit better.
Yeah, we were just looking like Perez, you were 5.5 seconds off of him, 6 seconds off in practice. Now you're only like a little over 2 seconds. So, I mean, you picked up a shit ton, so that's good.
Yeah. Definitely still need to pick up more. But
Like I told you, you keep this thing clean, you're going to learn another 30% in the race, and you'll be in the fucking top 10.
Yeah.
Official in a full slow roll. It'll be really tight if we try that. I don't think it's possible, to be honest.
Still could be wider in the exit at 9.
Another wreck.
Obviously, like if something happens the first lap, you see the water temperature, we're going to be conservative here, which should be good. And then we'll come back down and cool it down and get the tires back cool to make a second run if we feel like we need to. Just want to be sure that you get a good lap while we're out there, because the coming in and stopping is not going well.
I went 10 there, Kale. You want to go more?
Try and get a little more rear bite on the brakes.
Copy that.
Get the wall back in shape. Corner. 14.
Say that again.
14, 1-4.
On CW. Sunday, the epic conclusion to an all-American weekend with Cup racing at 4 o'clock Eastern on Prime. A lot of action all weekend long. Great weather, of course, expected. What do they say? It's always 72 and sunny in San Diego. Look at these pictures everywhere you look.
Breathtaking.
That was pristine and breathtaking, but half the field, actually, what is it? Joe, you said it's a third of the field has had some kind of damage today so far.
What do you think those O'Reilly drivers and Cup drivers are thinking? Oh, that's going to be a bit of a challenge.
It is definitely going to be a challenge, and I think that we've kind of recognized the problem spots here. I mean, you can get yourself in trouble anywhere around here, but for us in these two practice sessions and qualifying, 14, 15, and 16 corners have been the places that we've seen the most trouble. We saw Eckes get in trouble in the turn 12 section over there, got in there a little bit too hot and got into the tires, but really right through here, this is 14 and 15. They get loose in the middle of turns 14 and 15. That's where we saw Justin Marks and our last incident with Stuart Friesen there. I believe there've been so many of them wreck. I think he was the one that just wrecked through there.
14 is getting them loose, and then 15 is biting them.
Yes.
And saying too much.
Yeah, that's off of turn 16 that you see those tire marks coming off the last corner onto the front straightaway. So
here's Friesen again, the latest incident.
There he is. Same.
This is 14, 15, and they wind up wrecked all the way on the exit of 15, Mike, and you see these barriers move that they have to keep pushing back.
The cameraman stationed there, he had to duck and head for cover.
Yeah, and that's going to be a backup truck for sure right there with the way that truck hit the barriers. I think the only one that has crashed so far that lately is Eckes. He might get away with that because he just hit the tires and it hurt the body so bad.
I'm not that bright, Kevin, but if you hit something that moves, that really helps preserve your truck.
Very much so.
Those tire barriers there in the chicane moved, and I think it's going to allow Christian to make repairs to that truck. As you see guys lining up to, in Kligerman's case, he's trying to get his first lap.
So is Ty Majeski. Those are the two that have not gotten a lap yet. Justin Haley wants another stab at it. Cole Butcher. So 4.5 minutes remaining in this qualifying session for Group 1.
And it's not going to be much. I mean, you're going to have to, I would assume that you just want to go right here to try to get yourself to the start-finish line just in order to give yourself an opportunity to maybe make 2 laps. I'm not sure how much they can cruise over there to the start-finish line, but they're definitely not worried about it right now.
They're cruising.
They're cruising.
Frankie Muniz in the back there in the 33 truck, coming down the hill to turn 2.
Just looking at all these trucks, you guys, with damage. 2 Tricon garage trucks, both Halmar Friesen trucks, McAnally, 2 of their 4 trucks damaged, and both Spire trucks. So a lot of damage control. You see it right there.
Well, that list is going to get bigger. I don't want to be the downer here, but that list is not going to shrink as we go through the rest of this day. So
Adam Andretti started off things on the first lap or so, getting into the outside wall, and he's had a lot of people join him since then.
A lot of the truckers love these one-day events. You get in, do practice, qualifying, race, and you go home. But in situations like this, it certainly makes it challenging when you only have about 4 hours to turn things around, damage trucks, get backup trucks out, and ready for the race.
See Justin Haley right here going through turns 8 and 9, so he's getting ready to go through last couple sections before he goes down that back straightaway with the alternate start-finish line there to start his qualifying lap.
Don't you think it's interesting, though, as racers, all that he's processing as he's trying to get back over to the start-finish lane, the alt start-finish line, feeling the truck out, understanding the challenges that he's faced so far, how he's going to go attack this lap. This is a thinking man's game, more so than a lot of racetracks because of all the variables that you have.
I love that you say that. I tell that to Keelan all the time. This is a thinking man's game because it is. And he who can think the best to put the most pieces together and not go over the edge is the one who's going to gain the most in this qualifying session, as you see Justin Haley go through the chicane area to start his lap. 1 through turn 16, the entrance of pit road right there. This is where we've seen a lot of guys get in trouble and hit that outside wall. Over the start-finish line that we'll use throughout the race today. Off into turn 1. Over the jump. Woo!
Down into turn 2, the left. Looks like a good start to this lap for Haley, swinging right out next to that outside wall.
Yeah, you heard him take a couple stabs at the throttle there to try to get that truck to rotate.
Justin Haley just trying to move up a little bit more, 2:18.55.
Andres must not have seen all the people running into the wall, Kevin. He's got a fast lap up there. He's going back for more.
Yep, over down into turn 2, and he's definitely a little narrower in that brake zone, and that's one thing that's going to be driver preference as to where your vehicle handles the best in that braking, as to trying to make it as smooth as possible to maximize the brake that you can use into that section.
I just love all the action these guys are faced with, the decisions they have to make, the thinking, as I spoke of. Just wow, a lot going on inside that cockpit.
See him sliding that truck through turn 5. You want to try to keep that thing right against that inside wall. Back in, wagging around on the back of that truck as he heads down this long back straightaway into a right-hander into turn 6.
Looks like he's got a lot of confidence wagging that thing around like that, and we know he's put up a fast lap, second fastest lap we've seen all day long.
I think he's somebody we certainly watched today, Michael. 7th at St. Pete, having fun today. Trying to better that time.
Ooh, man. He is definitely, you hear those tires chirping as they're sliding across the racetrack right there. You see the surface change.
Whoa, loose.
Heads into this turn 12 complex where we saw Eckes get himself in trouble.
Kligerman to second. Now Ty Majeski gets a clean lap second, and you see Andres Perez gets into the wall.
He's going to get away with that.
I would abort, though. You're not going to beat the time that you put on the board now that you've had contact. Gave it a valiant effort. I'll say that for him. That thing looked wrecked multiple times before he finally made contact.
Yeah, and I think if I was his crew chief, I'd be like, hey, bud, Just bring that thing in here. We don't need a backup truck. You're already on top of the board. Let's take what we've got and go racing.
I've been trying to tell him for 4 corners, and I think I got his attention.
Look at Ty Majeski, though. 1/100th of a second difference.
Wow.
To Andres Perez there right at the end. Kligerman with a great run. Corey LaJoie hangs on to 4th. Justin Haley back to 5th. So much action. If you like this group, wait, there's more. Group number 2 coming up next.
Getting into the chicane, but if you tell me, so I ain't looking down at the computer, I can tell him about the exit, like either to pit or stay out.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I think it's going to be, we're taped to do 1 lap here, so 1 lap, come in, cool it back down, and then we'll make another attempt, and at that point we can judge if we're going to try to open tape a little bit to do a 2nd lap for the 2nd run.
Okay, 10-4. I didn't hear all that, but yep, I'm good with that. Makes sense. And you can basically just tell me, we'll just pit. Yeah, if we run more than 2, just tell me if we're going to run more than 2.
Yeah, like I said, for the first attempt, certainly not planning on it, and we'll make the decision after that.
Copy.
All right, time to go. We'll coast from here. Take care of the water pins. Take your tires. When you're ready to go, let the brake bands on and shut your alternator off. Okay.
Probably about 4 minutes now. I probably said he could improve his time with more laps, I assume. Probably wishes they ran less tape to get another lap.
We're all ready. Making a little last minute adjustment here, and we can go right away.
Copy. 1 or 2?
1 only. Come in, pull it back off, and go again if we need to.
Copy.
74 right here. Turn it off, Sam. Turn it off.
The heat cycles that they had.
It's been a beautiful day, and what an exciting first group, guys. Andres Perez on top.
What's that do to Ty Majeski? 1/100th of a second all the way around this crazy place.
Yeah, we were talking about how wide the gap was earlier in practice, and now we're talking about 100ths of a second difference between first and second. So it's been a very steep learning curve and quite the progression as we've gone through practice and qualifying, Caitlin.
It certainly has been, and Andres Perez seems to have figured out. He said it's sketchy but fun. What was it like so far for you out there?
Yeah, it's fun. I think that was a really good lap. The different surfaces around the track make it really challenging. Still learning the track. I wish we could have had a little bit more practice. But that lap felt really good. I think on my second lap, it could have been a little bit better, but we're on the very limit. So I think we'll see how that holds for the second group, but overall happy with the performance.
Being here with the Navy on this base, what has it been like for you as a competitor? I see you smiling. It seems like a very well-received thing by everybody.
Yeah, obviously the track is one challenge, but then it's also really cool. Like the whole atmosphere around the place. Yesterday track walk was awesome. So yeah, I'm just enjoying the overall weekend. I think the race is going to be a real challenge. Tires seems like they're going to matter a lot. So, just got to work. Let's see where we end up in qualifying. I think that's going to hold on pretty decent. And yeah, excited about the whole weekend. It's awesome what NASCAR put in here.
So far, so good for Andres Perez. Jamie?
The 21-year-old from Mexico City, Mexico, where we sit here in Coronado Island. He's pumped up, guys. He's not affected by what happened.
He's pumped up, but just so he knows, he was over the edge. He actually hit the wall. He just got away with it with the way that truck, you know, slapped the corner of that tail. It's really strong the way that tail is reinforced right there with how it hit, but that could have been a lot worse.
He's lucky it didn't snap the front end over into the wall. We've seen that happen repeatedly, and I won't say totally lucky, but also very talented young racer and put down a heck of a lap, but got away with one there.
You can say totally lucky
okay,
because it was.
Guys, track is green for group number 2, and it looked like Ben Rhodes was quick to fire off and took to the track first. We've got some heavy hitters in this one. See Lane Briggs there, Chandler Smith. Few drivers highlighted in yellow here as well. They had issues, will not qualify. They're working on those trucks or bringing out backup trucks, but they'll be hopefully ready for the race coming up in a few hours.
Those fast times are the second and third fastest times of the day from our 2 practice sessions. So Honeycutt was a little bit faster than those guys, but those are solid laps that we've seen go on the board. Be interesting to see how many of these guys in group 2 can challenge.
Who's your pick, guys? You got a favorite here?
Yeah, I think you have to go with either Honeycutt. I think that we didn't get to see what Lane Riggs had. I like the strategy right here by Gio Ruggiero following what is the fastest truck here so far, Caden Honeycutt, out on the racetrack. And you know, we saw that 16.3 that Honeycutt laid down in the second practice session right off the bat. So we'll just have to see if we can dip into those 15s. Does he just need to repeat what he did, Mike? What do you think?
I think he will go faster if he keeps that truck clean. He's got a few small adjustments, I'm sure. Tire pressure. I think this truck goes faster yet. Goes down maybe into those 15s, like you mentioned, Kevin. And you know, I think you said something I find interesting. You talked about Gio following Caden out. We talked already about what a thinking man's game this is. You know, even in qualifying, it'll be even more intense in the race. But now Caden's going to have to process, or excuse me, Gio's going to have to process what he's seeing out of Caden as well. So you just add more layers to the puzzle and how to get it right.
I always like to rabbit. I always like to find somebody, even if they weren't faster than me, even if it was somebody that was the same speed, just to. I always felt like I did better on these road courses when I had somebody to chase and not really overdrive the entries to the corner, because that's where you can get yourself in the most trouble, is overdriving the entry to the corner. Then you're wide or you have too much speed and miss the apex. So Caden Honeycutt rolling down the back straightaway now over into turn 13.
Look at those eyes.
Oh, here's some wheel hop right there, just a little bit, but you can tell he's pushing hard.
I like how you noted how far ahead he looks.
Off into turn 1 as he finishes 16 right here, cross start finish line into turn 1.
Listen to him work that throttle too.
Listen to this engine right here. Just as you crest the top of that hill.
That throttle is definitely not an on-off button. He's, you know, it's not from off the gas to wide open. He's really working it during this lap.
Yeah, you can hear how much he's on the rev limiter in between gears. Sometimes you'll just let it run out, back off the throttle a little bit just to let it sit on that rev limiter, but not maxed out. See him head off into turn 5 right here, sweeping left-hand corner.
I love this part of the track. Bumpy straightaway, fast speeds down into turn 6. This is when action starts picking up. Well, I guess it's everywhere because we've seen something happen everywhere. But I like this part, the speed of this part of the track.
I thought you were going to say you like the ocean view back there, but it's pretty good down that back straightaway, Mike.
Yeah, it's nice.
So you head down into the left-hander in turn 8 right here.
Gio staying within sights.
He's there. Definitely not as close as what he started. See that 10-11 kind of left-right combination right there. Oh, wow. That's where we saw Eckes get in trouble earlier today.
Got him work that wheel.
Mike, you look down at that time.
Holy cow.
1.8 seconds to the good right there. We might blow.
Oh my. Right at the conclusion of that fast lap. Top of the board for Caden Honeycutt, fastest lap.
Did you mention something about the 115s?
Yeah, we
down there.
We just skipped that.
Oh, we went over that?
Yeah, we just blew right past that. We went straight to the 14-second bracket.
Wow. And put an exclamation point on it at the very, very end of that lap.
2:14.78.
Yeah, and he's going to get away with that damage too on the right rear of that truck. He just, as he came through 14 and 15, he just kept his foot in it there on the exit of 15.
Was there some damage to Gio's truck? He put down a 16.62. Back there you talked about he wasn't quite up to the pace of Caden, but that's Caden, but that's really close. Look at Grant Enfinger. Solid lap for him as well. Lane Riggs in second.
Those two can't escape each other. Honeycutt, Lane Riggs, it doesn't matter if it's practice, if it's qualifying, if it's the race.
And we generally add Chandler Smith to that conversation. Right up there near the front, week in, week out.
Let's go through 14-15 here for Caden again.
Yeah, you see that truck just slides just a little bit on the exit right there. It really slid all the way through the corner. It sounded worse than it was. Based upon how it looks on that right rear.
Did you see him look back like, what did I hit?
Yeah.
Oh,
he got it pretty good.
To roll through there, as I did in practice, that it was just a little bit slick. My fault.
Well, look how hard he's breathing.
Yeah, he'd been sitting there for a couple minutes and still just trying to catch his breath.
Look at Jimmy Johnson up to third, guys.
Good lap.
Gio Ruggiero in fifth. We saw him.
Well, now he's in trouble.
Uh-oh. Kevin, you said just get through the practice session.
Yeah, that looks very similar to what the Honeycutt truck probably did. Landon probably did that a little bit harder with the right rear, and it kind of knocked the bed loose right there.
He went 2:17.0, so he picked up quite a lot.
Yeah.
But it got away from him.
And it's just such a fine line in how you hit that wall. And, you know, Honeycutt's could have knocked the whole deck off as well. But it just, and we saw it with Perez earlier too. He slid just perfect enough to where it just hit that right rear or that left rear corner to where it's not gonna tear it up.
You see the times winding down in this session, just under 12 minutes. We'll hop on board and see what Jamie Mack's got going on.
We better get with it because he's got a bunch of zeros on the board right now.
14 trucks and counting, guys, that have damage of some sort from today's session.
I told you that list wasn't going to get smaller. We're not done yet.
We're not done. 11.5 minutes here.
Look at that beautiful.
Jamie said it's going to take him a while to get fully committed to being up to speed, but this is the moment.
Yeah, we're out of time, bud. We're going to have to push the pedal down and get going here.
Beautiful American flag on that USO Ram. Just corner after corner knocking that rust off that Carter talked about.
That's right. Well, it's time to lay down a lap here. And you heard Jamie talk about picking this race because he thought it would be the equalizer. I think he's learned really quickly. Probably picked one of the hardest ones to do. He's getting ready to come to the green flag right here.
Where did our man Boyer pick? Didn't he pick Wilkesboro?
No, Clint raced at Dover.
Oh, he did Dover. Yeah, that's right. He wanted to race Northwest World because it wasn't that fast, and I said, well, how'd you wind up at Dover?
Yeah. Well, they have a little bet right here, so whoever finishes higher, which Clint didn't set the bar very high.
I think he finished 29th.
Yeah, so, I mean, really all McMurray has to do is just roll around all day, and he's going to watch Clint ride the mechanical bull.
Hey, is that the bet?
That's the bet.
Okay. Well, to Boyer's credit, he didn't run that far back all race.
No,
he was top
he did
15.
Well. Yeah, yeah.
Even with you messing with him.
Took a little heat off part
on
of
the
it.
radio.
Yeah. Here, Jamie on the rev limiter right there, downshift through turn 3. You know, the worst part about this scenario for Jamie is his son is here, and you see him get loose in turn 4. Slides all the way up off the corner, but worst part is when your kids are here and they drive race cars too, and you're not running fast and you're not comfortable, and you don't really want to tell them that you're not really comfortable, don't feel good about the whole scenario. They're like, why do you suck so bad, Dad? And,
Did you hear that from Keelan?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, that's just part of it. So
I think you got to remember what talented race car drivers Clint Boyer, Jamie McMurray are. I mean, Jamie's won all the big races. Like, this is a guy that's won at the top of NASCAR. If you wonder how hard this job is, we talk about the intensity, all that goes into running a fast lap. Oh!
He was in trouble when he got into that brake zone.
Jamie McMurray, Chandler Smith, the only two here that have yet to post.
Chandler will go fast when he goes.
Keeps locking that engine up. Can't tell if it doesn't sound like the tires are wheel hopping right there. You can hear the engine go quiet. We'll have to wait to see how hard Jamie's breathing when he decides to come off the racetrack, because he is way outside of his comfort zone. I can promise you right now, having to figure out where these couple of seconds are from practice and then not having the last practice. See Jamie's 21st quick right there. He ran a 2:19.82.
Talked about this friendly wager Kevin just mentioned. So Boyer at Dover was 29th.
And I think it's fair. I mean, Clint, I really realistically thought he would finish, you know, 18th, 10th to 12th right there. Really? Yeah, I thought that the way that he was running and he was getting more comfortable. So, but that doesn't matter. He finished 29th. And McMurray has put himself in the 21st spot right now for qualifying. So
that's respectable. Like, he'll get better and better. Talked about the talent of Jamie behind the wheel.
See, Chandler Smith was the other driver that had yet to post a time, and he did a 2:16.23. And I think
you see Jamie shaking his head. He knows what the quick time is right now, and he's 5 seconds off of that quick time. That's why he's frustrated. Now he's starting to get mad. And that's what happens. You're like, oh, I'm just going to go have fun. I'm going to go out there and enjoy myself. And then you start, once you get back in the seat, you don't want to embarrass yourself, and you want to be competitive and do all the things that it takes to, you know, to be respectable. And you saw him shaking his head right there, kind of slinging his arm up and down. And Jamie's a competitor. He wants to do good.
Well, hang on, James. There's 50 laps straight ahead, about 4.5 hours.
And we talked about Chandler Smith, when he did make his run, would be fast, and he joins Caden Honeycutt and Lane Riggs up in the 3rd spot. So obviously Chandler will be a part of the story this afternoon. Those three all the time are right up at the top. Those are the 3 guys that are pretty much separated themselves from the competition when it comes to speed.
Well, Caden Honeycutt has certainly done that, guys, with a 2:14.78. He's standing by. We do have just over 6 minutes remaining in this session, but let's hear from him, Caitlin.
Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, Caden, impressive lap. How were you able to execute and put that one together on such a tough racetrack?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody caught the, unfortunately the right rear's kind of messed up, but I think we'll be able to fix it as long as we fix that seam in the F and safe flight. That will be all right. So, yeah, just unfortunate mistake on my part right there at the end of the lap. Looking at the board now, I really wish I didn't attack it that hard, but Just the racer in me just goes and just everything I can out of the truck. And thanks to Scott and everyone on this team. They've done a really good job all day. Man, this place is tricky, and it's very, very tough. But I think that's what, to me, is so fun about it. Like I said before, like, this is the most fun I've had on a road course ever. It's just so much characteristics, so many things driver-wise that we can do to kind of overcome things that, maybe in the truck that we don't have. And thankfully for Safe Flight and Tricon Garage and Toyota Racing, that brings us great trucks to go and compete. So we'll fix it up, Band-Aid it, and I'm sure that's not the last mark he'll have on it today. Hopefully we'll stay where we're at. If not, it's still a good starting spot to win on the naval base today.
After you completed your lap, we saw you kind of try to take a breath. What is the physicality like of turning laps here?
Man, honestly, I don't think it's so physical as much as it is mental. Just staying locked in the whole time. There's 16 turns with the chicane, and I feel like if you miss the chicane to start your lap, you got to wait 2.5 minutes to get back around, and hopefully you don't screw up any other corners. And I think that's what the hard part is once you mess up one corner, it pretty much screws up the entire lap. So yeah, just on the Q lap, just focus on not trying to do too much. And when I got to the finish line, I tried to do too much. So we'll patch it up, be fun, and see if we can go win here at San Diego. It'll be really awesome. This is an experience I don't know if will ever happen again, so we're taking it all in. This is a really cool experience. So thanks to NASCAR and everyone that pitched in for it. So it's really awesome.
Thank you for your time, and good luck to you. Caden Honeycutt, currently P1 right now, Jamie.
Caitlin, if I'm watching at home, he just sold me. I am tuned in, glued to my TV for what's to come later on as we take a look at Tyler Ankrum making his second attempt. He was 11th after his first lap.
11th isn't good enough. He thinks he can get more out of that.
When you look at the racetrack, I mean, there's not a ton of trucks on the racetrack right now. I think we've got 4 or 5 behind him, and you saw Caden Honeycutt out of the truck. He hit the wall, and they're going to have to repair that truck. So he's got what he has. So you saw Jamie McMurray climbing out of his truck, so he's not going back out. At some point, it's just about survival when you get into these scenarios. But Ankrum back out there to try to improve on his time.
That's a tall task to see everybody having issues, running into the wall, and then be up to the mental aspect of the game to go try to get more out of your truck.
Yeah, and I think if I had a decent lap, and I'd probably park mine too, Mike.
Grant Enfinger 5th there. I see he's out on track as well, trying for a little bit better lap this time. Kaz Gralla in the
hanging
62.
In that top 10 there.
Yeah, they definitely had some damage on that 45 truck that they were going to have to attend to on that right rear quarter panel. And really right now, you just want to keep your truck in one piece and get yourself to the starting grid, because there's a lot of teams that have multiple trucks back there. There's a couple of those teams that have multiple trucks back there that are trying to prepare backups, and you never know what the level of preparation is. You've got a little more time today than what you normally would, but
got to make it in the big show. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you hear those tires chirping right there, sliding across that asphalt through the chicane, or through turn 12, actually.
You can see the damage from Ben Rhodes. He's back out there. They patched her up.
2 minutes remaining here in NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series qualifying. Does anybody have anything for Caden Honeycutt? Let's see what happened to Ben Rhodes just a moment ago.
Skid.
Oh, he got away with it.
Wow.
He had already
slid all the way through the corner right there.
There's Jimmy Johnson just behind him at that moment.
It already had damage.
Yeah, the left front tire is locked up. You see him slide all the way through turn 2. That's that section that's after the downhill, all those bumps during that braking zone, and he just got that left front tire locked up, Michael, and he just had to use more real estate than was there.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson's out there. He's got the 4th fastest truck so far, and he's having to wait behind Ben, so maybe just made a slight adjustment and seeing what that truck is going to feel like.
Yeah, I think Jimmy's trying to get himself positioned to have one more lap. I don't know if I was Jimmy Johnson, I'd keep going. I'd put mine in the garage. What about you, Mike?
I'm with you. I'm being you could be my crew chief. Take her to the garage, Mike. We're going to start at the top 5.
That's right. Take that top 5 and don't get greedy.
Ben's after it here. Jimmy seems to have dropped off the pace.
Trying to better that 2:17.34, Michael. He's down in 12th.
See him through the chicane right here. Get ready to go through turn 16 back onto pit road right there. Jimmy Johnson's going to keep going.
Wow. I think he just wants some laps.
That's a great question. I'm not sure the theory behind sitting there in P4.
Well, there's Chandler Smith. He's third fastest, and he wants more. Wow, that looked pretty good. Sliding off that corner with a lot of power down.
And I think if I was a couple tenths off, I would probably go back out there and give it a shot. But, you know, what Chandler Smith is over a second off of second place with Lane Riggs. So I think at that point, it's like, really, what are you gaining at that point? But he's taking his Hard Rock Casino Ford pickup truck. They're going to give it a whirl.
I just love when we see these guys with it heading in the right direction, still boiling those Goodyear tires. You can see black marks, and it even sideways. It's just the power down on the ground, spinning those tires.
Yeah, and if I'm the crew chief right here and seeing the time, you know, 1.1 seconds off, like I would abort. At some point, you just have to be smart about what you're doing. I know you want to get the driver laps, but we just got to get to the race at this point, not take any chances.
Time has expired. 3 trucks can complete their laps here. Chandler Smith, as we're watching now. The 7 of Connor Mozak, they were able to fix that damage from earlier. And the 1 of Jimmy Johnson coming around. You could see him on that map tracker there.
And you see Connor Mozak, he's 14th quick. So they made repairs and got him in a pretty good spot. Chandler Smith's had enough. Jimmy Johnson looks like the same thing. Decided that's enough.
Great effort for Jimmy Johnson.
Great effort for Caden Honeycutt.
Great effort for Caden Honeycutt. Those guys have been strong all day, and we're going to see another showdown. We got Honeycutt and Riggs on the front row.
So Caden Honeycutt, 3rd career pole in his 72nd start. Last pole was in April, and he does it again. And what a front row. Caden Honeycutt, Lane Riggs. Gonna lead him to green. Coverage starts later today. 4 Eastern, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Lots more action. ARCA tomorrow, Berlin, 7 Eastern on FS2. Currently airing on Fox, it's the World Cup, USA versus Australia. Coming up next year on FS2, it's America's Day at the races. For all of us at Fox Sports, I'm Jamie Little. We'll see you back on FS1 for the race.